once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I tell you what, it is Sunday afternoon here. I'm starting a little bit early. I pray the technology holds up and we have good quality sounds coming through. I'm hopeful that everything's going to come together today, because I'm in such a place, man, a place I never thought I would be, but here I am. And brothers and sisters, to all of you who may tune in, may find your way, hear my words, all of you who join me, thank you. I titled it today, Let's Discuss God Together. It's really where my thought has been all day already. And I guess that's kind of what church is about, is it not? Gathering together in fellowship to praise and wonder about our God. How does all this life come together? What's the purpose of it? What's the meaning? What might God have planned for the future and all of us? It's a mystery, man. Life is a mystery indeed. Because praise God, man. I was thinking about all sorts of things today. Wisdom of the past, and it's still true today. But Tesla. His quote came up again today earlier for me. To understand the universe, think in terms of frequency, energy, frequency, and vibration. To understand your life, think in terms of energy, frequency, vibration. Vibration and the frequency that brings the pattern of the energy, right? In those patterns is information. Energy is really information. Information it's got a quality of energy to it. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And we live in a society where it's normal to charge people to help them learn. And I know we live in a world where everybody's got to pay for everything, and everybody's got to have a job, and everybody's got to do this, and everybody's got to do that. But what if that's not true? What if we were born into like this fairy tale of lies, and we're watching the house of cards starting to crumble, right? The illusions of authority, bunch of made up nonsense that we all agreed to. The illusions of wealth doesn't really mean much, doesn't really change anything. See, money creates an illusion of power, an illusion of control. That's what it is. Money creates this false illusion of control. Think about how different you feel if you got little extra spending cash in your wallet or your bank account, and those other times where things might be lean. You got this greater sense of comfort and security when you don't have a bill you can't pay, a need that you can't achieve. Money creates an illusion of control in this world. It buys away your feelings. See, we live in a world where people have been conditioned by nature and ignorance, I guess, but people have been conditioned to deny their feelings, to disassociate from things, right? Imagine that they're not there. And these ideas I was thinking earlier, it's the disassociation creates a numbness within us. We're disassociated from love, from the true nature of who we are. And in our numbness, our closed heart, our closed mind, where the world is so small and it's just so limiting, I'm so powerless, there's nowhere to go. Those are signs of confusion. And I know those past feelings of just feeling so helpless and powerless and not knowing where to go, caring so much, so afraid, so angry. I was all those things. I was disassociated from the reality because I didn't know who I was. I want to help remind you, whoever you are, all of you, I want to help the world remember who they are. Divine spark of life, imagined into creation, animated by some unknown mysterious force. It just brings all life together. See, I was considering the concept of time earlier today as well. I've actually spent a lot of time thinking about time and how different it is, and how Albert Einstein was right. It's all relative. Everything is relative. It's all relationships. It's all relationally. That which is temporary, is it even real? But let me not go into that. The time thing, right? Time. All it is change. Change is what we observed and the moon and the sun and all these things. And we said, hey, let's make a calendar together. Seems to keep track pretty good, right? Let's call this time, and we'll break it down into more and more, and then we'll start expecting more and more from your time, right? Because it's time. Time is money, and you've got to have money to live, right? That's what we're taught. It's a bunch of bullshit, dude. Time has been generously and freely given to us by an unknown force that brings forth life, moves the sun, the moon, the tides, brings forth new life, allows decay. It's all this, just this perfect balance and harmony that our God has put together for us to discover and to see together. You know how many variables are involved in creating a day, let alone sustaining life, right? Through the vegetation and the tides and the currents and all these forms of life that are here somehow on earth with us. It's a glorious creation, Mother Earth, and all of her beautiful specimens, vegetation, fruits, the nuts, the berries, right? All the grains that sustain us. It's not the friggin' laboratories. It's not the pharmaceutical companies. It's not the governments. Sure as hell not the job creators that are sustaining everybody. I mean, when are we going to wake up, guys? The thumbnail today, right? I don't know if I even got into it yet. In the background is a reminder as we discuss God together, Sunday church with Jack. Let's rest in God's love. This thought occurred to me earlier today. Without a trust in without trust in God, one learns to expect the worst. How many of us are expecting the worst, right? We live in a fear-based society. It's devilish in design. It rewards the selfish, and it takes from the hardworking and the loyal. We live in a criminal world. But when you bring God into the equation, everything starts to make sense. At least that was my experience. So let me offer this. It doesn't have to be a hard path. I mean, if you know what you're doing and you know where you're going, things are actually pretty simple. And so the idea of trust in God, it's simple to trust what you know, is it not? Right? And what you know comes through a familiarity. Through that familiarity, it's effortless to know what you can understand, right? So you can understand and know and trust, but what has not been found cannot be understood. So if you haven't found an understanding of God, maybe you haven't yet looked. That was my mistake in my past. I didn't know where to look either, or how to look, or what to look for. I just stumbled into all this stuff by God's grace. By God's grace. To find God, simply seek God. To seek God, turn to God. Even if you don't know what that means, do it in your mind and your heart. Turn to that. I don't understand what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I know I need more. I know I need answers, and I know the answers come from somewhere beyond me. These are the prayers that I prayed, and they seem to work for me, man. I feel pretty darn good, to be honest. I really, truly do. Because a practice I practice for myself, and I encourage you to do as well, right? Um, Go within you and look around you, and be willing to confront any disturbances to love. Be willing to confront any disturbances to love. But first, again, you got to know what love is. You got to be looking for love. You got to be looking for it so you can see it, not looking for it like love. So somewhere out there, there's my love, and I go, I'm so lost without my love. Don't act like that. No, know that love is here and now. It's waiting to be recognized in the beauty. In the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? What are you beholding? What are you looking for? Are you looking for flaws or perfection? Because you can find both. You can imagine dreams or nightmares. You can live in both. I have. I used to live in this nightmare, dude, where I just couldn't escape my disease of, dude, I was gluttonous, I was sinful, I was gambling, I was just drinking, I was just not a good version of a man. I'm not proud of the bad things I've done, but I'm not ashamed of the good things I've done either, right? I've done a lot of good. Balance, right? That's what life is about, bringing balance into your wholeness. But you got to be willing to recognize where you might not be balanced, where you might be out of balance, right? Leaning a little too hard to one way or another, wearing yourself out. I used to do that. These words on disassociation and this feeling of numbness, the confusion of the mind. I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not judging anybody. I know the misery that it causes. This, my friend, truly. That was the only thing that could allow everything else. That is a beautiful set point, DeFreak. Thank you. Because this question, what is love, and then what the fuck are you talking about? Love is the only thing that could allow everything else. So align with love. Allow yourself to allow the self to be with love, the self who you are. Allow you to be with love so that you can experience it, if that makes sense. Here, I'm going to go ahead because part of church is opening the doors, man, and I'm willing to open the doors up. For those who wish to join me today, I did begin my live stream early today. Oh, I got some promoting to do, some promotions. I don't know if I mentioned those things yet. And Trexty, I saw your threat or promise. If it's a no, it's a joke. Stop that bitch voice out of you. And this question, words of Tina Turner, what love got to do with it? Love really is all that is. Love is all that matters. Without love, there would be no matter. Without love, you feel there's no purpose in life. Love, it has to do with everything. But see, what we live in this world that overlooks the spiritual aspect of life, and the true spirit of life, it's desire. It's filled with desire. And I think ecstasy, delight, life and nature and God, you can see the reflections of God in nature, and in nature you can see you, and you can see you in nature. If you find the willingness, you can see yourself in all things. You can see God in all things. If you open your mind to see all things through a veil of goodness and love, it does not mean you ignore or overlook the evil and the demonic and the darkness. That shit is real too. But you don't need to give it any power. Your power comes from your time, through the time that God allows you. That's the only time you have any power here on earth, is through the time that you live, which is today's November 23rd, 2025. As far as I've heard, there's still wars here on earth, still a system that rewards the selfish and it protects the corrupted. We like to say it doesn't, but we know the truth is this government and economic system is corrupted. We can assume properly that there's signs maybe the devil kind of infiltrated some of the religious practices and interpretations as well. Some of these sick and twisted ideas that people carry around in their heads, it's not natural. It's of the world. See, the world profits from your fear. The worldly ways do. The entire profit and debt system, it's truly created out of exploitation. Every bit of profit comes from exploiting some other people, some other persons, customers, the workers, the producers, the suppliers. Someone's getting exploited for profits to be there, be shared with the shareholders that want to oppress the workers' rights to safety, the workers' rights to, better equipment, better conditions. You got those shareholders chasing the money system, right? Creating their own false sense of comfort. But keep in mind as well, from a poverty experience, you see people with wealth and access to convenience, right? You think it looks better, but their fears change. Then they're anxious. Am I making the right investments? What about these taxes? How long is this going to last? And what about these? And do they want me just for my money, or do they want me for this? There's all sorts of things that happen with life. Money, this whole money system and legal system, it just actually it overcomplicates things. And I'm a simple man. God has blessed me with a very simple life. And my hope today and each day is to share some of the love that I found in my path along my way. I don't know if it's coming through, but the dirt bikes are out tonight outside the windows. Uh, Here in the city streets, man. Life is a trip. What is depressing? Please, please. I may have missed something. Did I pin this? Yeah, I've got my link in. And for those who do wish to join, you're welcome to. I don't know how long I intend to stream. These ideas I have, though, I mean, I could truly talk about God for quite a while. Because the idea of this power of intelligence that's just so beyond the scope of what we are aware of, I'm fascinated by wisdom, intelligence, answers. There are so many answers I've learned I didn't know the questions to ask in the past. I mean, this is what something I shared earlier today. I am a man of devoted faith. Okay. God is the way. I seek to follow the way that I learned from Jesus, the Buddhas, many, many spiritual teachers have known, right? The love that life can bring for you to feel, for you to walk with just this peace that's just like, if you know, you know, right? If you don't know, you just don't know. That's how life works. But if you know this peace that I'm talking about, where you're just like, oh, God, it feels so good. It feels so good just to be me. And at least for a few moments, it doesn't always like that. But if you focus on that feeling of just, oh, it feels good to be, just, oh, it feels good to be. You focus on that more and more and more, and you realize, holy shit, it feels good just to be me. That was my experience, at least. I mean, try it out. See if I'm wrong. Tell me about the results or the lack of results. But I encourage you to be honest with yourself. Life is life is a trip, my friends. We never do know where it's going to bring us. But one thing is for sure, this is what I learned from my life experience. Without a trust in God, you'll quickly learn to expect the worst. Without a trust in others, you expect the worst. Without a trust in yourself, you expect the worst. And guess what? I have a theory that God's there to fulfill our hopes, desires, and expectations. Well, no, the expectations, those are our problem. We keep relying on those. That's just a fool's errand. See, the key I learned, don't expect anything. Be grateful with whatever is given. Be grateful for all that is given, for all that is given in any moment, any breath. All that is given is from and through and with and for God. But if you don't know that, you get afraid, you feel alone, and then you start trusting the wrong things. You trust banking systems, you trust politicians, you trust all sorts of silly things. I didn't live like that though, because I didn't trust very much. I was always, well, no, I picked sides quite a bit too, but I picked the wrong side quite a bit. I used to think just like Donald Trump. This is why I think he and I could get along. And actually, for those who are following the current news, after the photo op with Mondami and Donald Trump, you see the way he was looking at him? He was just beaming. He knows. See, there's something in Donald Trump. He's a chameleon. He's a manipulator, but I get him. I totally get him. And I know he would love me. Donald Trump would love what I have to share. Because if he listens to me, he'll go down in history playing this role that God can handed him on a silver platter. He'll go down in history as just like a pretty amazing guy. But if he continues his path listening to the people he's listening to, he's going to continue this path of controlled opposition being bought and paid for by the slave owning powers behind the scenes. I mean, the signs are obvious. It's either confusion or corruption. I think it's a little bit of both, because one thing leads to another. Only a corrupted mind would believe that only a confused mind would believe that corruption is a wise path to choose. That's the path of the devil, right? That's a fool's errand. So it's either confusion or ignorance, and it's written in the scripture that God's children suffer due to a lack of wisdom or something like that. I didn't memorize the words, but I got a lot of meaning from what I found in the Bible, the example of Jesus. It's really for us all to know. Perfection is to be found by those who can handle it. But to find the perfection that is, it means you got to surrender all your bullshit, all of it. Me too. I still got more stuff I got to let go of, some more bad habits, me. But I'm not. I debated whether or not to make this commitment public, but hell, I learn as I go. Um, and I don't always learn the right lessons at the right time, it seems. But I made a new commitment to myself again, an observation. My goal as a man, I want the angry Jack to be done. My anger hasn't served me well. What seems to be more effective and more efficient and feels better is not being moved by my anger, right? Recognizing the feeling. It's quite familiar to me. Recognizing the feeling of frustration or desperation or, oh, I'm not being heard. That's all that is. And all I got to do is just keep practicing. And all of us got to do is we just got to keep practicing, calming down the nervous system. Don't be nervous. Don't be angry. Don't be afraid. Be grateful. Because gratitude feels a lot better than anger. And when relationship wise, when you offer anger versus gratitude, guess what people like? They don't really like the anger as much as I like my anger, but they like the gratitude I offer. Sometimes they just think I'm fake. People think what they think. That's what I've been learning to realize too. People are going to think what they think. They're going to think. You can't force somebody to think about something. You can invite them. You can offer, but you can't force anyone to do anything. And so here, I wondered what I would do should this choice arise, but we have a guest in the back, one who I asked not to return. See, and my goal is to let the angry Jack fade away. Now, part of that is making wiser choices. There's really no reason for me to entertain nor waste my time with people who can't share respect. So I'm willing to see what happens. Raven King, welcome, Stephen.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep,
How's my audio?
it's clear.
Okay, I had problems connecting on StreamYard. It wasn't recognizing my mic for some reason. I did come here to apologize. That's why I'm here. I understand that you felt offended, that you thought I was offering um, how would I insults, I guess. You thought that what my videos, you didn't find them funny, you didn't see the humor in what I was doing. So I do apologize. I wasn't making those videos to be hurtful. The one with you squealing, is it the one that was you were kind of going, "Woo!" like the massage or maybe the other one, but I made a couple short videos recently and you did not care for the content. And Jack emailed me and you asked me to think about it. Think about the reasons why. I think you said something like that. So I have thought of it. You don't want to be viewed as a clown. You want to be taken seriously. That's the conclusion that I've come to. Am I correct or incorrect with that?
That's accurate.
Okay. So if I'm if I'm on target then with that assessment, I do apologize for using clips of you to make fun of you or to make you seem silly or clownish or whatever way you want to view it.
Hmm. And we've
If
had
that
these
was my
discussions.
transgression. Unless you
Well,
have
we
another issue with me. Sorry, go ahead.
well, it seems we've had these conversations before. So I'm curious, why should I believe that anything is different this time?
I don't remember having this conversation with you before. Did we talk about the short
Multiple
videos?
multiple times I've attempted to discuss with you your behavior, duplicitous behavior, one way here, and really not as good as you say, but then going around and just mocking me. And it's like, the fuck are you doing, dude? So why should I believe you this time?
Have you not been mocking me on other shows saying I have screws loose and all sorts of things?
Well, I've tried discussing things with you, and
No,
you
commenting about me
clearly,
other places, you talking
yeah,
about me.
my experience with you, yes, you are a
Mocking,
lunatic.
insulting.
You are disassociated from reality. You're just what I'm
Oh,
discussing today.
Jack, I'm curious and I'm here for reconciliation.
So you claim. I know you to be a liar, and so
It,
far I'm not
it,
seeing the signs of authenticity again.
I'm very
Please,
authentic.
please prove me wrong.
Jack, there are people accusing me of clout chasing. Do you think that I'm clout chasing by sharing little short clips of you that I find amusing? Is that clout chasing?
It's certainly using me for your own gain and not
How am
in
I gaining?
support
I'm
of
not
me.
profiting in terms of money. How
Tell
do
you
I
what,
gain?
in the message, remember what I said? Why don't you stay away until you can figure it out? You
I
don't seem
am
interested in what I'm offering. So, Stephen, thanks. I heard your words. I'll believe what I see. Um, and you, new guru, you're such a fascinating critic as well. Sit on your friggin' high horse. Just, I don't know what you're doing, man. Seriously, some people, you just make no sense. It's like, don't you see? Don't you see that what you're offering is really not accomplishing anything? You're not adding, you're just whatever. You know, here's the reality. You know, it would be. It would be nice if Stephen would straighten up. He's not the only one. Um, hey, I'm not sure what, whoops, doggone it. I'm not sure what is what anymore. So let me just check and see. J Money, are you there? J Money? I can't hear you. If you're speaking, you're not coming through. So, welcome to try and get my attention from the back. But for now, I don't know what you're doing. This is a very fascinating, truly fascinating experience I've had. Um, what is it? This the freak? You see it? It's just not sane. It's illogical. It's accomplishing nothing. It's just stupidity. I heard these definitions, right? Um, Stupidity will cause damage where there's nothing gained, right? It's just destruction for the fun of destruction. It's the demonic or juvenile behavior. Stephen claims co-host of the show, then degrades the show. It's like, why? What is the purpose, man? I don't get the getting here. All right, so I'm gonna give this a try again. We'll see if things are.
Hello?
I hear you now, Jay.
Can you hear me? All right. Yeah, this was bugging out. That's why I'm like, so yo, yo, what's up, Jack? How you doing? How you doing, man? Like, I see what you going through, man. I just came chime in and tell you to hold your head. I know you from Taco's channel, you know what I'm saying? I see you going through a lot of this negativity stuff, people getting at you. People feel like it's okay to just take shots at you, take digs at you, and you're supposed to just eat it all the time, and it's not supposed to bother you. Listen, you entitled to feel human and feel how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody knock you off your square. You know what I'm saying? No matter who it is, no matter where it's from, you know what's in your heart, bro. You're a good enough man with a solid head on his shoulders. I could tell. You know, you did your service. You know, and we appreciate you for that. You know,
Much love.
protect your peace, man. You have every right to do that. That's all I just came in here to tell you. You know, you have a blessed dream.
Hey, Jay Money, blessings to you sincerely. Uh,
Definitely,
you demonstrated what I'm hoping to actually do more of here. You demonstrated a man being kind to another man. Thank you for that. That
for sure.
encouragement, right?
Definitely. That's what I
We
came. That's all I came here for, man. Just to give you that, just to give you that little bit of encouragement, because I like you, I like your style. And we was on the panel the other day. You was nothing but cool. You
much
classy
love.
guy, man. I appreciate you, and I'm gonna be watching from the background. Just wanted to give you that.
Hey, blessings. Much love and sincerely. Do you have a channel? Can we share your channel? I think
No,
maybe.
I'll be on Tacos. I'll be on Tacos platform. If you want to like ever holler at me, you can just go to Mega Bloodbath Debates. I'll be on there every day, you know.
There
And
we
I always
go.
it's always a welcome thing when you come over for sure. We like you over there.
I appreciate that. And that is
That's a
one
fact.
thing. I have felt welcome there,
That's a
sincerely.
fact. For sure,
Hey,
Jack.
you're welcome to stay up or
Well, I mean, I didn't want to like divert the direction of your thing. I just saw that, you know, in this particular moment there was people like saying things, and then like a person made a comment like coming at you like saying like this is not a demonstration of peace, but like it's like bro, like what do you mean? Like this person plays with me, he plays with, like I'm here trying to do something, I'm trying to like get my thing off the ground, and he's playing with me in many different instances. Where are you in those moments to tell him anything? But no, you want to tell me that I'm not being peaceful, or like this is not a demonstration of peace. It's peaceful because I didn't curse him out. It's peaceful because I didn't permanently ban him, and I'm giving him the chance to even try to reconcile that. That's a peaceful thing. You understand what I'm
thank you.
saying? So I
Thank you.
don't understand. Like you can't be Superman. You can't take on the weight of the world on your shoulders, bro. You got feelings and senses too. Like people get mad. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, much love. I appreciate you recognizing that.
That's a
We've
fact.
we got another guest who joined. You're welcome to stick around or
Oh, yeah,
um
definitely. I just didn't want to like take away
no,
the direction of your pen. You know, I wanted to let you keep cooking. You know what I'm saying?
no, my friend, this is beautiful. And here, I'm gonna take a chance. Kim, is this Kim by the storm? Is that right? Are you there?
Sorry. Hey, Jack. It is.
Hey, good. How are you, my friend? You don't
Good. Happy Sunday.
You as well. I don't see you clicking up much. So, welcome. Good to see you. Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, but you said something earlier, and it just stuck in my brain, and I wanted to see if you could elaborate on it.
Please.
You said, where there are profits, there are exploitation, and I don't agree, but I'm not like going to just say you're wrong. Like, could you tell me how explain that to me? Because I'm not, it doesn't sit well with me. Like, you know what I mean? I can't compute how you're coming to that.
I appreciate it. It challenges what we've been taught, but the full thought that brought me to that is profits come from the exploitation of ignorance, right? People know different things, they have different skills, therefore they get rewarded for what they share. That that would be fair if that's the way that things worked, but it's not.
So can I ask, are you just talking about corporations or profits, period?
Well, it's the entire system that has people living with a profit or debt-based mindset. It's a
Well, okay. Can I just so I would agree with you as far as a corporation because you're right. It is about minimizing expenditures, maximizing profit for the shareholders typically. Like that's just what it is, right? But and that's why I was wondering if it's both or if you were just saying the corporation because here's my side. I'll just like let's just say basic construction. There's expenses to build a house and the knowledge you need to know how to do it right, right? And so if you're going to build it, you need to be able to, you can't just break even, right? You have to have, like, if you don't profit, then you literally are just working day. You don't have any time to advertise. You don't have time to, go seek new jobs. Like if you're just like, oh, I'm only going to break even on this job, you're homeless on the, you know what I mean? And so there's
right,
now charging too much would put you out of the market. If you're charging $100 an hour for your labor, that might be too much, but maybe 50 or 60 can bear it, and so and maybe it's costing you, 30 or 40, and so you are profiting, but the person can't get it done without your skill set. So that's where I'm just wondering if profit is the word. Yeah, that's where it's not computing for me because I'm like, how could you, in what system
well,
could you break even in every transaction?
ah, in a society that gives, in a society that the purpose is to give more than receiving, right? Sharing abundance. That's the idea. We could transform the world because you said a key thing there, the knowledge. Okay, and admittedly, knowledge comes through experience. People gain their knowledge through investing their time, their resources, their life to knowing these things. And craftsmen, yeah, a skilled craftsman, dude, that's priceless, but not
And
everybody
like, I
has.
wouldn't agree that like just if you're the last skilled guy, then yeah, you should share your knowledge. Like, I mean, I just think it's difficult for me to even imagine like what you're talking about in the sense like that, where it's like, yes, it's a very valuable skill unless everybody else knows it. And then if you're the only one, maybe you get paid to teach it. So wouldn't, I mean, I'm just curious if you were paid. I mean, okay, well, I don't know if I should use you. I'm not trying to put, but I'm just saying, like, if you get paid as a life coach, wouldn't everything you get paid be technically profit because you don't have an expenditure?
Of course. I mean, there'd be
Okay.
minimal. Yeah, that's part of the
And that's
reason
with
I
everything,
started.
right? Any teacher, right? I'm not saying like you, like, yeah,
Uh,
like, if there's no outlay for like raw materials and you're only talking in like knowledge, and I'm agreeing you should be able to charge for something if it's valuable. Like, that's more what I'm getting at is things have
And you're
value.
not
And so,
right,
yeah,
right.
talk
You're
to me.
not. Yeah, I'm not getting a chance to say a lot here. The the idea is we share our talents and our knowledge with each other. This profit-based system, it's what we were born into, and that's why we know it. It's familiar. It's been taught to us. The capitalist propaganda has proven to be very effective here in America. Okay. That's why everyone's willing to fight to protect this idea. But this entire capitalist system of the free market, it's an illusion because nothing is free. The bankers own it all. We're participating in a lie, relying on this movement of currency and money. We can move past it all.
Yeah.
I
So
totally, I mean, honestly, I agree with that.
yeah.
I actually had a somewhat of an epiphany the other day, realizing that our justice system, one of the problems that I don't think, well, I didn't know it, like basically it, if you're not a corporation, you don't have much justice. It is now set up as a justice system to represent the corpse, the corporations. And I was like, oh shit, like it's really not even much about money. But like when you look at laws and statutes, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't disagree at all. Just to, like, because I like the Amish on the principle, right? I know they have a lot of dirty shit, whatever, animal abuse that I wouldn't agree with. But that being said, the sharing, the coming together to build a house, and like everyone shares knowledge, I think that's freaking awesome. I mean, um, yeah.
Kim?
So I guess I feel a little bit like I don't know what you mean by profit always equals exploitation.
Well, in most products or services, for the product to happen, okay, in most products or service, you're going to have a supplier, you're going to have the workers, you're going to have the consumer, right? Those are the three major parts. Um, and so for profits to exist, there's got to be an exploitation, getting the cheapest supplier, getting the cheapest, the most work for the least cost out of your employees, getting the most return for the least investment with your advertising and all of this, right? To get the money flowing in. It's exploitation, it's propaganda.
And it's crazy because, I felt like that originated from scripture, like that whole system. Like to be tithes or taxes, you pay your tithes, you pay your taxes. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's just a more primordial concept of it. And
Yeah.
that's just how that's why I always say scripture is a control tool, something to control the masses. That's where that argument of mine comes from, because it's still doing it to this day in certain degrees, even if it's not necessarily controlling every nation, but in most nations, you don't get taxed if you run some scripture thing, some church thing. That's a way to circumvent
Wait, that's not true.
power.
You, I mean,
Well,
bro, that's not true at all.
I mean, here you could start your own religion, and if you got like 10 or 20 people that are following it, and you could prove it, and y'all got like your space to worship and stuff like that, they won't tax you for it. If you could sign up for a thing
Yeah,
like,
okay, you're saying you can get out of taxes here, whereas you can't get out of taxes other places?
no, no,
Maybe I
no. I'm saying like,
misunderstood.
okay, maybe in other places, no, but like here in the States, I know you could do that. I know you can start your own
Yeah.
religion and do that, and that's a way to circumvent
Like
the laws
like
that
I
give
agree with
you power,
Jack. I mean,
right?
when you
You
look
can't
at
overdo
the
that.
the whole picture, there's the fringes that are absolutely like treated like dogs to maintain our society. I mean, you get these videos that you come across with these dudes in India rebuilding, trucks out of scrap and all this, and they're barefoot. They don't have glass. I mean, I get that. I'm like, yep, but at the same time, I'll just say we're not buying those trucks. Those people are doing what they need to do to survive. And I don't know if there's profit. I mean, it's terrible. It's fucking torture. So I'm not even, like it's a very difficult thing. It's like if our society collapsed, we might be in a similar situation.
That's
It's just like at this point in history, we're at the top, and you know, other people aren't. Uh, So I guess what I'm getting at is it's difficult for me to see one encompassing system just because I do see it more the more older I get as a spiritual thing.
Yes,
And wherever you are, you have to deal with it. It's an
yes,
internal struggle.
Yeah.
yes. Until the struggles are overcome, they're surrendered, and you win. Because we win this spiritual game through surrender. Accept this reality that we've been given. Most of what we were taught, it benefits the oppressors, those who own the capital, own the production, own the media, own the government. We have a structure of government that was built with the concept, good ideas, right? But the enemy, rather than protecting our God given rights, our God given freedoms, our government treats the people and our freedom like an enemy. The more free we are, the less power the government has. It's an obvious contradiction of terms.
Yeah. No, I mean, and the thing is, yeah. So I've been fascinated with mental health and like just psychology a lot, but really the last couple of years more than ever in my life. It's like the internet and all the panels have just exposed and people have laid themselves out that a lot of them don't realize what they're doing, and so you just get to observe this matrix, right? And for yes, antisocial personality disorder is a technical term, but we all go by psychopath. And the thing is, psychopaths just don't have empathy like that, and that's just a foundation of what it is. And it's like they can watch someone suffer and either feel indifferent or maybe even joy. And so like they look at those people in India and they're like, yeah, fuck them, and like I don't. So I guess that's what I'm getting at is
Sick.
it's a layer of psychopaths that have run the world. It doesn't matter if it's government, like not every corporation's run by one, but a lot of them are, and a lot of police are. It just attracts that personality. And
It does.
that seems to be it's like that's why you can't even I couldn't put my finger on one thing that would just fix it. It's like it's it's layered through society on such a control level that I mean I don't even I'm just explaining something I see. I have no solution for it other than fucking kill them all, let God sort it out. But like I don't, and the older I get, I realize that's not really practical either because they have all the big good guns and they have all the technology and they just, I mean, that's where it comes back to spiritual. And I do think, I'll be honest, I had an epiphany. The Bible made perfect sense from being an atheist to in my 40s and then having a born again experience. It was like, oh, this explains the power structure. I mean, it's not saying psychopaths, but it's the same thing. It's just using different language, but it explains the same power structure we have today. And
Yep.
I it
You
that
see,
and again, you need to have a foundation, and the more if that's what you're saying, Jack. Maybe I never understood you before, but if you're really like no matter what, individually lean into it, your own internal spiritual battle. I guess I've heard mostly the whole, Trump and this and that, but you're more projecting out you want them. I guess that's where I've given up a little bit, where I came to a realization no one will ever understand me. And it actually was like pretty huge because a lot of people want to be understood. I mean, that's why you talk to people and you explain. It's like, oh fuck, you're misunderstanding. Now I gotta say it again. And then I guess what I realized was I don't fucking understand anybody, right?
Hey, Kim, let me
Yeah,
jump in there.
go for it.
That
Yeah, I've been talking a lot.
that exactly is what I had trouble with. I knew that nobody could ever understand me because my life had been different than everybody else I'd met, and so I felt alone. But coming to terms with that, just having it reframed in your mind, no one can ever understand me versus, yeah, no one can understand me. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a want. It's like even in thinking you can be understood is like what you have to get over.
That expectation. Yes, that expectation.
I hear you. I don't really get understood like that myself, when I start unpacking my thoughts. But I realize that we just all individuals, you know what I'm saying? So when you realize that, and once you like follow the root rules, which is respect each other, like, you know, care for each other like that, like help each other, that's what's important, really, the empathy, and people won't
It is, yeah.
care about that until they're the ones who need it. Like the people you're talking about that are like, I don't care, like what's going on in India, like those people will care when it's going on with them. You understand what I'm saying? But empathy will still be the solution in every situation because that's really what this world works on, empathetic feelings towards another. That's why I don't mind paying my taxes. I'm wondering what you got to say though, Hank. It looked like you had something to say
Yeah,
earlier. You were about to chime in. I would like to, hear your stance. You know what I'm
please,
saying?
So I had
please.
to go. I've been taking notes, so I had to go back to a statement Kem said that if you're educated, you don't have any upkeep cost. You don't have any cost. Well, and if you're doing education, you do have upkeep costs. You have marketing, you have rent, you have research and development. So all that stuff's got to be paid for somehow. It doesn't. So you absolutely do have upkeep, even if you're just talking.
That is true, Hank. Thank you. But along those lines of low overhead, that was one of the benefits I saw of taking a path in life coaching. There's other people who are very successful and they do a great job. And it does offer some freedom. You know, you're in control of your schedule, you're in control of your overhead. um, but then
So
with coaching, sorry, with coaching, I also tuned in to the idea if I can help one, maybe I can help others. And maybe the coaching and speaking can work together. Because then I started learning how much some people were getting paid as public speakers. Man, there's there's a there's a market there. So
so
Have,
what?
have you ever have you ever read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, Jack?
it's
Have
been
you ever heard of it? Book?
it's
It's
been
been recommended to
recommended.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good book. It's 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 basically a philosophical discussion on quality. And it uses a motorcycle maintenance and a father's trip with his son to parallel, and it's amazing, honestly. Like, I've read a lot of good books, but like that one, when you get done with it, it's one of the few where I really felt I had a better understanding of a philosophical, thing rather than just a better vocabulary. And quality is what really matters. I guess that's kind of what circles around profit, because it's like what you can charge really has to do with what you are offering. And if what you're offering has that value, that quality is what I think a lot of people don't understand. They think, oh, you just decide you want to be famous and you become famous. And people don't think about the 10, 15, 20, 30 years sometimes people put in of being not famous, with a goal, but they wanted to do a quality job in their role. They still had a foundation of, I'm going to do this as the best quality, and then they got recognized. It wasn't necessarily they wanted to be famous. They wanted to do. So I guess that's just where that's what I think about when I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
What's the end result? Is it going to be quality, or is it just filler?
So it's not quite that simple. There's a project manager triangle between quick, cheap, and good, and you have to balance it
Oh,
out to
I
be
love that.
optimized.
I tell
Yeah,
people that all the time. Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
yeah. Be balanced it out
Well,
before your
quick,
market
cheap, and
fail.
right is typically what it is. Yeah, but
Well, come from software side, and we use quick, cheap, and good there. So
I mean, it's everything. Yeah, I mean, well, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Agreed.
Well, there's things beyond everything we've got in our society. It's built within the laws of nature. There's an order to it, the illusions of order with our government and our banking system, but it really is all pretend. The illusion of wealth. Well, money creates an illusion of control, but it doesn't really give us anything. The reliance on money, many people raised in poor families, they develop these unhealthy mental relationships with money, and then repeat the patterns of poverty. Generational poverty is real. I mean, just like generational abuse is real. I'm convinced that we are here at this time, the development of technology, the development of information, the answers for healing are available to us all. And it is a spiritual truth, Kem, like Kem brought up. It is a spiritual truth. The spirit of life is greater than the physical life, the material life. It's more real. The spirit of life is more real than the physical life. I mentioned early in the stream, right? Reminder of Tesla. To understand life, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. That's what every single moment is.
Yeah, and then a bunch of energy, frequency, and vibrations that they put out to distract us from that.
Ah, and yes, that's the oppositional force within nature. There's laws of exchange within energy and nature. It's all balanced and it's meant for harmony. We're we're song
Well,
notes.
yeah, I agree with that, but I was actually referencing like the distract, like just all the devices, technology, everything that's using those same different frequencies. But you know what I'm saying? To distract us from. Yeah, I mean, I guess Jack, have you given your thoughts on? I know your Christianity would a lot of people give you a hard time, but a lot of people give a lot of people a hard time. The little season and whether you know, what's your thoughts on that?
I believe what God is showing is that time is an illusion. It is always now, and all time is God's time. So the
So you're not tripping. You don't even consider like Revelation and whether
I
we may
do,
be in a different time. Oh, you do. Like,
I do.
uh
It's
do
happening.
you do you basically think that we were under a delusion of and that Satan was loosed in the early 1800s and that's what sparked the industrial revolution and the technological transhuman wave? Like that, I mean, that's my synopsis of kind of what people that believe the little season was. Is
You
that,
know
are you
what?
into any of that, or is that like on your radar? Or
I'm open to many interpretations because that's all I can have is an interpretation, and so I'm very curious what others find.
do
What
you think the transhuman, the whole like literally, neuroplant and it's emerging humans and and technology and on a fundamental biological basis, do you think that that is like a satanic agenda or just a regular, like people just are going to do stuff because like I think it's full blown Satanism, you know what I mean? But um
there's this is the thing, that oppositional force in the theology and stuff. It is the demonic, the devilish. It's the that which opposes life and light and growth. Um, and it has no power of its own. Darkness, shadows, that's what it is. It has no power on its own, but its power
mm,
against us is real. And it feels real because it's through pressure, through that opposition and that pressure, that we gain our strength. So it makes sense that there's light and dark, there's masculine, feminine, there's always multiple ways. But
do you believe in demons? Do you believe in like unseen entities that influence humans?
they
Do you believe they influence them through to like putting direct thoughts in their brains?
Well, you can see
Yeah.
them if
No, I mean,
you can
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
see
yeah.
them.
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah. I mean, we're on the same page.
there's many aspects, and I heard an explanation that's simple and makes perfect sense, right? Connecting light and illumination and wisdom together, right? Information travels through the light. With the light, we receive messengers. The angels are messengers of the light, And then we also receive distortions of the light. We've got these other voices and energies that can influence our ideas, and ideas are energy. They're very powerful energy that the demonic and the angelic, I think they all understand.
Yeah, I recently just heard the dude, I don't know, Schoenberg or something like that. The guy, he kind of was one of the original guys that proposed that there's two angels and two devils on everybody's shoulders.
Yeah.
But basically, we're assigned two guardian angels and two demons. Was it, the way he put it? But yeah, I mean, I like I said, I was an atheist, through most of my adult life, and I mean, I was open to stuff, but no one, again, like I hear a lot of these atheists talk about, it's like, prove it, prove it, prove it. It's like, yeah, man, I get it.
Mhm.
And then I went for in like one instant from thinking everything was physical and like maybe 0.1% was spiritual, and it was like the veil dropped, boom, and it was like the exact opposite. It's 99.9999% spiritual and such a minute physical.
Exactly.
So, but it also kind of made me a nihilist. That's kind of what I was going to get. Is it?
Okay.
I even though I agree with a lot of this, like I kind of come out of it through doing stuff in the world, like engaging back in the world, literally through like gardening and carpentry and like you know part time work and just like realizing getting off the internet a little bit. Um, and I just because I realized like I prayed for so long for an EMP, like when we were going, everyone was prepping. I mean, man, I would love nothing more than for tech to just go because I love that. I mean, I'm camping and hunting whatever. But what I get at is I know it'd be chaos, and I just what I try to encourage people is to try to pick up any, and I know it's just everyone said it, but like it really has helped me to just get back into things in the real world, even part time. Obviously, still playing online, but just like thinking like, what would I be doing? Would I have
Yeah.
any hobbies? Would I have
Yeah.
any socialization if the power just went off for even 2 weeks?
Right.
Like, would you just
Right.
sit in your house and be a hermit, or are there people that would be like, hey? Let's freaking figure out how to cook something without like, power. So like, and yeah, so going from basically isolation and then branching out and kind of realizing like, wow, yeah, I forgot that people aren't as crazy as they are in the internet in real life for the most part. Like,
Good. Hey,
yeah, right.
Kim.
And yeah, and I've heard you talk about that. And hey, I'm gonna throw it out. I think you seem a little less crazy, too, Jack. Like,
Thank you.
and and I had a lot of skepticism. Now, it's still, again, like a lot of people, let's not even get into this big thing, but I had skepticism of you going out east and what it would do, and it's been a lot better for you than I thought it would have been. I mean, you
Me
seem,
too.
uh, and so kudos. I mean, kudos are like, dude, yeah, not
Hey,
knowing where it would go, everyone had to take a bet, and you're winning. People that bet against you are losing at this point. Just
thank
for
you.
mental health, just from the fact, like, can I tell you one of the things, even though I give you so much hate and I could disagree with you on so much, one thing, Jack, that you are an inspiration to me on is your consistency. You
Thank you.
click that fucking go live button almost every day. And I think it's a crutch a little bit, but you know what? I also think there's a lot of times you probably don't want to do it. And like, and there's a lot to be said for showing up. Like
Thank you.
who is it that 99% of success is, or is just showing up. And so
It is.
yeah, and I mean that's
Hey,
especially online, like with all the trolls and hate. Like you are like you think it's been said you are durable, and
hey,
that's
Kim. Thank you.
yeah, and
Here's,
that those are good qualities in this world. So yeah.
I appreciate it. This along the lines of this comment. Stop comparing to everybody else. Everybody's path is different and unique. Stay in your lane. That's a partial truth. There's some wisdom in that, not comparing to everybody else. However, it's through comparison that we actually learn things. I learned a lot from noticing what people were doing different than me and recognizing, maybe there is a better way to be. Maybe there is
Yeah.
something different I can
I think
do.
what you don't do is have to need to go point it out to them.
Right.
You grow from it. You recognize it, silently move on. Like, yeah, I think,
Yep. That's it.
yeah, we don't compare ourselves. Like I actually think one of the problems is, man, people have a lack of how they actually are seen by the world. They have like putting themselves in another person's shoes. It's just like they don't. It's like they don't do it at all. And for some people, it's amazing to me how they present themselves in such, I mean, fucking Ben Thorpe,
Well,
right? It just comes to
here,
mind as like, you
Kim,
know,
here, please. This is something that you kind of mentioned earlier. The people become disassociated. They become calloused and cold and just insensitive. That insensitivity prevents people from understanding. It's this it's a result of trauma. That's what I understand.
yeah, a
And
lot of it comes back to trauma, man. A lot of fucking everything does, right?
it does. And this is what I'm learning though. The answers are here. We don't have to have our children, our neighbors, our spouses addicted to pharmaceutical drugs. There's answers for many things. Now, don't get me wrong, I recognize for some people these chemicals have been true lifesavers for them, but they're
Yeah.
temporary. They're temporary fixes that we shouldn't be normalizing as much. The answers for healing are here and it's with us. And Kim, I appreciate you seeing. And admittedly, I've become a man of faith because my comfort zone was shattered. Everything changed for me. And when I left Spokane, heading east, I had no clue where I was going to end up, how it was going to work out. And I was recognizing my blessings earlier today on my own, Kim. So thank you for seeing them too. Um, I have faith that the past, all of our past, logic dictates the past was preparation for today. Today, we prepare for tomorrow. We don't know when tomorrow's going to end or when it's going to get here, but
It's such a paradox because I agree with you, staying in the moment is key. But at the same time, I think if you don't have a goal or an end game, what the fuck are you
yeah,
doing?
Kim, sorry. It's what you were saying as well, right? You broke free, started questioning yourself. If I wasn't doing this, what else could I be doing or would I be doing? And when you change where you are, things are different, right? And
Yeah.
if you want your life to change, you got to change you. It's the simplest, most obvious answer.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is about the end goal.
Yes, that too.
Um,
Sorry.
like, yeah, no, I mean, what do you think about that? I think it's a paradox because I think you have to both think of the end, long term, and where are you going? What's your goal, and what's your end result you're looking for, right? How are you going to get there? What are the steps you're going to take? I mean, I've done a business plan. It's like even if you veer off it, you come up with something, right? Some type of path. But at the same time, if you're always in the future and you're always, it's like what do they say? If you think in the future, you got anxiety, and if you're stuck in the past, you get depression. I'm sure there's other things, but like basically, I agree with you. You got to think in the moment. Uh, but at the same time, I think that can create almost like I mean, dude, some of the people I think that live in the moment, dude, I think of are maybe like Tommy. Like, I don't know if it is totally mentally healthy to like never have any goal. And I may be
Right.
putting more on that on him than maybe he stated a goal. But you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
It's
know. I
like
yeah,
he seems to really live in the fucking moment. If I were to think of someone who's just like moment by moment deciding what he's doing, I would say that's him, right? And
Well,
yeah, and I don't know if that's mentally healthy, but a dude that sits there planning and never executing. Okay, I'm done. I've talked a lot. Sorry, I'm smoking weed while I'm talking to you.
no, I love what you're sharing, man. But please, this is wonderful. What you were talking about kind of reminded me of time. Like I said earlier today, I've spent a lot of time thinking about time, and it's easy to get hypnotized in the past, right? If you consider our experience of time, it's kind of linear, right? It's like flowing down the lake. If you ever done that and you just watch the wake behind the boat, it's easy to get hypnotized and you just fall asleep looking at the past and not really seeing where you're going. And that's what well, slaves would do. When they've been defeated and they're being ruled and oppressed, they no longer have any power. They look to the past. They look to the past to see what is going on, what's happening, and then they're reactive. I used to live like that, suffering in my addiction. I wasn't present. I was either in my memory or my imagination because I didn't like who I was or how I felt at the time.
Do you
It's
think we're slaves right now?
yes.
Yeah,
And this is
and
kind
we're
of
yeah.
part of my inspiration from the Bible. I'm inspired by many of the stories. Uh, Following the way of Moses. I want to talk to these friggin' people in the presidency, in the Congress, the banking industry, the corporate leaders. Set my people free. This is nonsense. This war and oppression, exploiting each other for profits. It's crazy. That divided we
I
remain
as much
ruled.
as I agree, I just Jack.
It's tough. I
I
get it.
mean, no. Well, I guess okay. I've it's I just imagine you there and like I don't think you understand the level of and ease that people in power use violence and like like I mean how easy they just it's like they don't people don't want to hear it. And it's even if you're right, it's not even being wrong. It's just um a snake is a snake, you know what I mean?
Well,
And if you get close to it, it's just gonna bite you.
the reality is it's really easy to see the mommy and daddy issues in people when you understand what to look for. And
Yeah.
with Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, they got fucking severe mommy and daddy issues all over them. It's the insecure that they're constantly fighting for power, right? The confident, they don't need to fight. They just walk with honor. But these cowards who found their fulfillment in hoarding wealth and exploiting customers and consumers. And let's not forget, how did Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos make a good chunk of their money? Elon Musk as well. Well, Jack, could that be the government contracts the taxpayers paid for the development
Oh,
of these
totally.
fucking corporations?
Yeah, it's all
I
corrupted.
mean, it's
Well,
crazy.
so I looked into them. Most of them inherited a whole bunch of money to start with.
That
Then you get
too.
the contracts after that.
Yeah. It's all
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it takes a lot of money to set up stuff. Like, but it's like, yeah, that's where I'm saying it to for them. I just hear you. I think, yeah, maybe you're okay. I guess I'll just say it, right? Who gives a fuck? You're not gonna, you know, you're probably not gonna listen to me anyway. Uh, I'm just kidding, Jack. You probably will listen to me.
yeah.
I'm. I think maybe you're trying to spread yourself too thin.
How so?
Like, um, if you focused on helping individuals, I think that could be a path. But when you also have to save the world, you could save each individual person's world. And if you kept that
All it takes is one. Welcome
as
back.
your focus, uh, I just think that it, like, if you were life coaching me and you were giving me attention, but then you brought up things like Donald Trump and all that, I would feel like I was outclassed. I'd be like, oh man, this guy's probably like maybe he shouldn't be helping me. I'm just a freaking nobody, right? And then if you're Trump or Elon Musk and you actually get to start helping them, like you said, they're big babies and they need all the attention. So they're not going to want you going down and like sharing the knowledge that they think is the best that they found with you with all the plebs. So it's like either way, you're going to be spread. I mean, that's why I say spread too thin, where it's like you're going to be almost in a conflicting, even if you win. But if you just focus on like individuals, like honestly, you seem to have a knack. I mean, look at Cage down here. He was a fucking 2 months old infant when he started, and now he's like at least 6 months old.
Sorry, I don't speak baby talk. What are you talking about, man? You know where I am? Yeah. Thank you for the quote.
Yeah,
Sly-handed
you're
compliment, you
that
fucking
you're that
cunt.
Canadian Hell's Angel, right? With all the bodies under
Shut
your
the
belt,
Go shut the fuck up. I know bodies and nothing like that. All I ever
or was
mentioned
it
was
Aryan
yeah.
Brotherhood?
No, none of
Aryan
that. I'm not. I'm
Brotherhood.
not involved. I'm my own man. I don't have nothing. I'm not connected to anything like
Oh,
that. But yeah, no, my
oh,
family. Yeah, you can look up Larry McElroy. Yeah, he was the president of the Hells Angels over here, Toronto East, and that he died in 2013. They shut down the entire fucking city. Yeah, it's all public knowledge. Like, it's not some fucking you can tell on YouTube. Go fuck yourself. I have nothing to do with that. I'm my own
What
man.
are
But
you
yeah,
oh no!
doing?
I thought you
Cage,
were. I thought you were
hello,
somebody. I was just saying.
hello. Cage, not appropriate, dude. Chill the attitude or you're gone. Okay.
okay. I'm sorry, Talcott. I gotta chill the attitude up.
Yeah.
I'm chilled now.
Why don't you?
Well,
Seriously.
I am right now. Welcome back.
You have
Bitch, you
such
want to see the Sicilian mob too, or like what do you want?
you have such a limited awareness about you. It just boggles my mind that you don't see what others see. It's crazy, dude.
I need life coaching, Talcott.
I
Can you hear
know
something?
you need some help, but you haven't been willing to listen.
I need help. I'm listening. Give me some help, man. Hurry up.
Just start with a spanking.
No,
No,
it's
that's for your sister and your wife.
Cage.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Cage. When are you going to realize that you're a better version of a man when you stay silent than when you speak at the wrong time?
All right, I'm staying silent. Can you life coach me, Talcott? I need life coaching, bud. I
What
do
did
have
you
to
just
pay
hear
you.
me say, Cage? What
You
did you
said
just hear me say?
it's better to be silent at specific times. It's not verbatim. No.
You present yourself as a better man, a better version of you when you stay silent.
I was silent the entire time. I barely even talked, and all of a sudden, like how dare you talk? I
And
said,
did you
what is
notice? Did you
what is it,
notice
you
you
fucking towel cunt? What are you talking about?
did you notice that you interrupted me again?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it over and over again. But now I'll be quiet.
Nope. When you learn not to do it over and over again, Cage, when you learn not to interrupt and to be respectful like a mature adult, you'll be welcome back. Okay? This is kindness and love, but go be better. And when you return another day, Cage, you'll be welcome back.
Yes, so I have practical advice for you, Cage. Have two monitors, have a screen, and take notes. That way you don't have to jump in and interrupt people. You can wait for your turn.
Would you ever consider moving on the land, Jack? Is that part of your goal?
Not not immediately. I want to see if I can make a change in the system first. I looked at going somewhere in the US. I looked at leaving the US. Looked into a variety of different communities. I found different projects that people were putting together. And that was when I had money too. I could have easily done those things, but I chose to stick to this path that I'm on. I believe I can make a difference if given a chance. I don't know what it looks like or how to make it happen, but what I'm referring to is a chance to get the attention, get the ears of Donald Trump and the other men and women who represent the U.S. in Congress. I want to at least try. And I think this is actually, we kind of touched on a little bit on the Bible and the prophecies. What if God gives us these visions, right, of what the worst case, what could be possible? But if we actually interpret the meaning from the Bible properly and we start adopting the ways of Jesus, if we believe in him, then we'll learn and know him and know what he would want from us. And what he wants from all of us is to live like him, to be filled with the Holy Spirit, to be goodness here in the world, and to celebrate life and all of existence. And so what if it's possible that the fulfillment of the prophecy, there may be something sudden and immediate that everybody can obviously recognize, but what if the body of Christ is us? Those who know and walk with goodness and faith, whether you call yourself a
It
Christian or
is.
not,
Yeah,
right?
I would agree with you. I don't know if you're asking, but yeah,
It's
that's the
us.
conclude. Well, I mean, it's yes, in this physical realm, that's what it would be. I mean, essentially, like the church is also the body.
So,
Well,
so, so would that mean is also? I'm sorry for interjecting, but
please.
would that mean that the original crucifixion was also something similar in theory? Like you know how you're saying like we are the body, like we are the like something like
It was a physical
theoretical like that.
crucifixion, but it had vast spiritual consequences.
No, I hear that because it's almost like saying like the return is going to be something that's like it's us, it's really us. Like that's what I kind of got from what I heard just now, like that we like we are the body basically. Like, we are the return.
Well,
Like
we are of
insinuating.
everything. And I
So
guess the question is if you believe in determinism or free will. And free will, I believe in free will. I don't even see how you could believe in determinism. I was actually going to ask Jack before I made that comment if what he believed in.
yeah,
Are you a do you believe in free will or determinism, Jack?
It could be a little bit of both. We we could be predetermined by the options we find, and then we have the freedom to choose to some degree, but it's limited by our options and our ideas. And that's what I believe how
Mm.
God controls us is through the access of knowledge and answers.
Yeah, I like that aspect because there is a determined. Yeah, right. Where you're born obviously is determined
Mhm.
on for whatever reason. Um, but
It's
I
a
mean, yeah, I guess, or some people might argue before you come, you make a decision that you're not aware of here, so it was free will anyway. But you know what? You could
right.
just make up if
Well,
unicorns fucking are flying over the moon right now if you can't see it, right?
yeah, that person's a different one than me, so I don't really accept that.
What don't you accept?
If it's a hypothetical, there's another version of me that made a choice before I existed that were they're not me, so I
Or
don't.
maybe it was you. It's just your essence in a spiritual form made a decision that your physical essence had to live by. That's more what I'm
Yep.
No,
saying. You were
I
still you.
The
Is
highest
just
fun.
you're not aware. You know,
I'm
like
not my.
yeah,
I'm
Here,
what's
distinct from
that?
my essence. I'm distinct from alternate reality versions of me. So I would just
You're a
reject.
determinist, aren't you, Frank? Or Hank? I
mhm.
mean.
Yes, affirmative. Yes, technically I'm an indeterminist, but it's only a slight difference. Just there are effects for all causes. But
Here,
yes,
let me jump in here with this idea of determinist and free will and the earlier observation on finding a purpose, right? The purpose in our life, I really believe it's whatever we choose it to be, but or whatever it turns out to be, right? Um, because our the purpose of anything is just whatever it is, and then we come up with the explanations and the stories for ourselves. But I lived a life where I thought my purpose was to follow the rules, to obey, to pay my taxes, and to do good deeds when I could. But it's not right. We are here to live. And to live, that means you lead. You lead yourself into your own path. Your path is your way. You're on your path. All of us are on our own path, and we just got to accept it. Accept the path that you are on, accept who you are, but then the practice is to really grow in your gratitude. Because if you can appreciate who you are and where you are and recognize all that you have to offer, all that you have to share, see the world for what it is, find the darkness that you really care about, and then see what you can do, what you can offer to help overcome it. That's what I did for myself.
That's good, man.
Because I heard this explained from Dr. Peterson, Jordan Peterson, pointed it out. It's just simple and obvious. Without a purpose, you're just floating through the river of time, right? And if you've ever gone floating a river on a tube, if you don't pay attention, you'll end up going into the bushes and in the trees and getting into the webs and stuff. And so if you don't have a purpose, you're just going to float through life. And when life gets more tough, you won't have a meaning to rely on. You'll feel lost and alone, and then the pain really hurts and you really suffer. But a simple thing as a purpose, having a purpose and becoming the hope, right? Carrying that hope in you that you will fulfill this purpose, you'll achieve this goal, you'll become that greater being of you. That's what we're here to do.
Man, I find like for me, like as life goes on and the more and more I lose people, I feel like it's on me to like live for them and like keep them alive. Basically, like that adds to like the purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
because everybody
Damn,
that
that's
we
interesting. I've had
everybody
the opposite lately. I've
I
been
mean
thinking about all the young people and kids I've seen, and you go early, and it's like, damn, why am I even here? Like,
no, you do
and
it
I
for
think that for a lot of people, I'm like, man, there's a lot of people that like I think have lived past their date, and a lot of good people that never got to see it.
and you keep them alive for every decision that you make in this earth where you set aside the way you would do things and you incorporate how you think they would do things and who you know them to be, and you take that decision and you make a physical choice in the world
Hmm.
under that
I like that.
logic, under that notion, that's you keeping
Yeah,
them alive. That's you
that's
setting them aside. That's you keeping their impact alive, their the composition, the person they became, the ideologies they inherited.
hmm.
You knew them, and they're no longer
Or could
here
have been. Yeah,
to
it's a good
spread.
way to look at it.
But you knew them. You knew how they were, what they could do, what where their mind was, and you carry them. You are one of the ones remaining that carry them. So the way I feel like purpose is given is like every time I lose someone significant, like I would set aside how I would do something and do it the way I feel they would do it because it's keeping their impact alive in the earth today. For every person that I help, for every time, like let's say if I see money on the floor, somebody drop money, like I would give it back based on the fact that I was taught by certain people that are not here no more not to do that. And that was
Mhm.
already instilled into me. So it's an honor to them. You see what I'm saying? Or like
I love that.
if I see like let's say I'm not gonna like if I could help somebody and I'm feeling lazy or something like that, the thought of my mom's or like somebody like that would motivate me to get up and be like, yo, you know what, fuck it, like I'm gonna just get up, I'm gonna just do it, fuck it, let me just go help this lady
Good
real
for
quick.
you.
You know what I'm saying? So
No, yeah,
that's
for
me.
real.
That's
Yeah.
me keeping them alive. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a purpose for me. It's purposeful
Hmm.
for me. I find purpose in that, keeping them alive. Like me being an extension to them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Hey,
that's a pretty healthy way to look at it.
it is, and I love that. Taking something that could be real painful and using that to strengthen you, carrying yourself more with honor, raising your standards in honor of what you learned from others. I love that.
Yeah, that's how I do it, man. I try to, got a lot of friends, family, people. I got like over 20 people that I've called close and, that's close to me that have passed. You know what I'm saying? So every day I'm thinking, damn, that reminds me of such and such. Damn, that reminds me of such and such. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
little things like that. I changed too with it.
It is beautiful. And the goal, I believe, you've been gifted with those lessons and you carry those with you. So I'd encourage you, don't let it be a burden, right?
Never,
It's
never.
an opportunity, and it sounds like you're doing it great.
It's
The,
purpose. I literally call it purpose.
I think we find these influences for the purposes of God gives us all these things and asks us, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with that example I gave you? What are you going to do with that lesson I showed you? Right?
Yeah, that's a fact. You
the
gotta. Yeah.
I said this recently in the topic today. Let's discuss God together. I said this recently. The more time that I spend in absolute pleasure, the more convinced I am that that's what God wants for us, to be filled with pleasure, gratitude, health, to be filled with abundance and prosperity. But we'll never find those things if we're always chasing those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Oh
does.
yeah, honestly, yeah. I've been thinking about that lately, just because, yeah, I don't have a drive for like material things anymore, and I actually
Good.
wish I did. Like on the level that I think it, I mean, yeah, I'm like, fuck, I don't know, man. Like, you know,
A
it's
new motivation. A new motivation,
uh,
brother. Because
like it's like I keep trying to kickstart an engine. I'm just like, it puts for a little while, and then I'm, yeah, I really don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Because I don't fucking idle out. And it's just like, I don't, but at the same time, it's rewarding, you know, accomplishing things. And
yes, yes,
so there is that mix where I'm really just trying to combine the two. So, possibly, yeah. But it's like,
it's
yeah,
a
I mean, I had drive. I was actually just talking to a dude that, uh, like, what do you think? What do you think about these people that say they think they're going to live to 200? A 71-year-old dude saying he thinks he's going to live to 200, and I'm like,
That's good. I would love that.
you
I would
think
love.
so? I think it's delusional.
I would love to live to 200.
imagine what you could
In this,
learn.
really, I'm like, in
Experience.
this world, fuck, really?
Kim,
In
Kim,
this, yeah,
yes,
life
yes.
is beautiful. Life
Oh,
is great.
okay, man, I'm missing something, but
Let
I'll
me
I'll I'll entertain the perspective. Like,
let me offer this hypothetical. If you can allow the too good to be true, you might find that it
yeah,
is.
I can entertain a hypothetical. Yeah, yeah.
Well, this
What is
world,
it?
this world with all its beauty, the mountains, deserts, rivers, lakes, oceans, all this diversity of life, and then mankind finds a different way of being where we're not working ourselves to death. We're not cheating and stealing from each other, trying to get one over, where everything is open and honest and we're truly free. And we're at a time where we've got some incredible technologies and opportunities available, but because of the current economic structures, it's all hidden behind paywalls. The average people don't have access to the newest innovations in health and whatever, right? And let alone how much knowledge is our government keeping behind, you know, secrets,
Oh,
classified information.
more than we'll ever know.
This Donald Trump and Epstein thing is another perfect example God is giving us, right?
Facade, yeah.
The authority are going to release what is unclassified. Well, who's classifying what, right? Who's making these determinations? What are they judging, and how is it being, what context? It's a bunch of games and it's a bunch of nonsense.
I'm just saying, you're not convincing me on the 200-year plan here, Jack. If that's what you're still on.
Ah, there's
I'm
there's a
like,
lot.
yeah, fuck it, burn it down. Let's go. So I'll just say,
No.
when you were saying that, I agreed with you. I didn't want to interrupt, but my thought was, yeah, you're not saying cities though. Like, I agree with you. Everything you said is abundantly beautiful, and you can feel God when you're there,
Mm,
but not
okay.
around cities and humans. And like, that's why I'm wondering, like, the on the land, maybe not by yourself on the land, but like
Even
I
in the
agree. Where, yeah,
even in the cities, right? Because we'll overcome and we'll transform the energy distribution systems. So we're not so reliant on the petroleum and even the wired electric. There's innovations and new things that are available for us. So in the city as well, we can attack the food deserts. We can do a better job of organizing and distributing what America can produce, right? If communities, large and small, work together and the community chose what business are we going to have here, rather than some corporation coming in, buying up farmland and putting in some industry, polluting and stealing all the water from the residents, we can totally transform the way that the entire everything can change. The way that our children are educated, the way that the elderly are cared for, the way the sick are nursed and treated. Not to mention, we can totally we can expose the toxic practices that have become normalized in all of these processed food industries. We can wake the news reporters up to, hey, stop obeying the bosses here. Let's stop spreading lies. Let's start reporting what's real. So imagine this world, human beings just a different way, without all the rules and regulations, where people were truly self-governed because they were properly educated, properly cared for.
But you're always gonna have the risk of that one person thinking he's smarter. That, you know, human beings are born with tendencies instilled into us. It's not like we're just taught like a machine that's being coded at the hello world screen, you know what I'm saying? Like, it knows nothing. No, it comes, human beings come into this with already preset things, already chemical formulations from when they're
Mhm.
babies, from when they're toddlers and children, and then they grow up like that. Like, they have things in them that, taught or not, you got people that come from places that it's not taught to them, and they turn out to be the most mad men. You know what I'm saying? And just sadistic, but you know you can't plan for that, right? So you could have the best society, and then tomorrow, not even today, tomorrow another child will be born, and years thereafter, would just break the whole mold because human beings have that in us, right?
There's no denying the rebellious nature that's within us. There's a pattern of defiance, but um, the way I see it, the only reason that wars continue is because the masses didn't understand what wars were actually doing. And the only reason that the corruption in government continues is because it's being allowed, right?
Mm,
Who's going to bring accountability to the government if the people rely on the government for accountability? Hello, it's up
that's
to
what
us.
it's power. It's power. That's what I mean, and that's what it goes back to with scriptures and laws and kingship and things like that. That all came about at the same time. Like, scripture is basically
Yeah.
just another way to like do that at a time before the government was around. Because before that, it was a bunch of
Oh,
different
yeah.
governments. They were religious, and religion just is a power tool, and we see it to this day. And this is why I tend to look outside of religion for my God, um, for my
Oh,
search for God, because I do feel like science is the key to getting there. You know what I mean? Science is going to be the way we propel ourselves to get to the understanding of something more. an afterlife,
We
another realm, something like that. You know, I don't think it's through the
see,
books though.
my path was similar but different. I started in science, but included in science, I went to history, and history includes psychology, philosophy, religions, and I looked into a lot of those. And the religions, they're all fingers pointing at, right? Pointing at the mystical and that which is beyond this physical thing, trying to
Hmm.
explain consciousness and life. So I found God in many of the religions, but truly, I heard it quoted. I don't remember who it was, but allegedly a Catholic priest was living at a Buddhist monastery, and he said that Buddha helps him become a better Christian. Maybe he wasn't a Catholic priest, but he was a priest in a Buddhist thing. That was my path. Learning the concepts and the ideas of non duality from the philosophies of the yogis and the Buddhas. When I finally turned to the Bible and I went back and reread these words as an adult, it just explained everything to me, made sense.
I mean, you know, I try for that to like I'm always receptive to when people talk to me about the Bible, but it's just certain things that just don't add up to me.
I
It's
got it.
just things that I
Yep.
can't reconcile. You know what I'm saying? That it's like this just
Hmm.
doesn't make no sense. You know, like how can you get the order of creation wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of those things that is like, you know, in the very beginning of the book, such a big botch. It's like, you know, the sun and the stars come on day 4, but the plants and the grass and the trees come on day 3 when you need the sun for that. You know, they try to say the earth came before the sun when it's known fact through science that the sun came before the earth and the planets formed around the sun. You know, so it's like
It's
things like
I
that.
mean, you don't. That doesn't matter,
It
honestly.
does.
When you,
It does.
it doesn't. I mean, God could have plant. You know, you can stick plants in the dark for like weeks and then just put them in the light and they live, right?
No, the thing is, they would never have grown or formed without. You could do that after they've already grown and maybe before they die. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could like revive them with light later on, like how you're saying, but they would never even have come to be without the sun and the photosynthesis and the abiogenesis, the material
well,
that
In a matter of a day. I mean, and abiogenesis isn't even part of the Bible.
in a matter of
Abiogenesis isn't
way,
even that. No one can show that. So that's just a that's
that
as
just
much of a theory as God is for a lot of
no, no,
people.
no. That's what I'm saying. But that just proves more of my point because scientists have shown it. Like we have
and
uncovered it through scientists.
Jay,
Science hasn't shown
I get
abiogenesis.
well, I get there's parts of the Bible too where I just allow myself to, yeah, I don't get it. I don't know. I can't reconcile this with what I've come to know, but there's not a lot of those because what I truly believe is the God is love, the power, the force that brings forth light and life. It reveals all things real to us.
Yeah.
And all we have to do is align with that which is real, right?
Hmm.
And that which is real is the truth.
I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
amen to that.
I hear that, but here's the thing, right? We're still stuck in a situation where we have this book and we know that certain things is just like it's just I don't know, like turning water into wine. I've never seen instances of that ever happening, like people coming back from the
That's
dead.
why it's called a miracle.
And
Yep.
I hear you, and that's what I'm saying. And you know, if I'm a person from back then, not in 2025, with episodes of Star Talk and you know Google Maps, you know what I'm saying? Like if I was back then, maybe that was something
Uh-oh. Is that me or you?
No, something happened. Jay, you there?
science is
Um,
showing me is different than what this is telling me. You understand? Like this is indicating to me something. It doesn't even talk about dinosaurs. it skips out errors that we know happen because we see the proof. You know,
Okay.
it's like it claims certain things, you know, that to me is like only a human being would want. Like, what would an
Man, I don't
almighty?
think this is
Well,
necessarily what Jack wants to talk about, but
Oh, my fault. Go
yeah.
ahead. Go
okay.
ahead. No,
I I was
I
just gonna
was
say
just,
I think it does. There's pushback on that. I just gonna say maybe we could talk about this because I dig this kind of conversation.
no, we actually
And
don't
I would
have
say
to.
there is
No,
pushback,
no, no.
or there is like reference to what you may call dinosaurs, and I think a lot of the evidence for dinosaurs is made up too. I mean, it's so yeah, it can go either way.
Nah, I hear you.
But,
I'd rather talk about what Jack want to talk about though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
well,
Respectful.
I mean, even in line with the Bible, I get it. But if you look to it for flaws, you'll find plenty. And if you look into it for excuses, hell, you can justify war and slavery and all sorts of crazy things.
Yeah.
It's what I'm convinced of is the true meaning in the lesson. It's in the wisdom. And the wisdom is found in the stories. It's the kind of the unwritten part. The pattern I see repeatedly in the Bible and the history of what was passed down is immoral people find themselves with immoral rulers. And
Yeah,
look at what's happening in the US.
fucking amen, dude. Right? I know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I dig
So
it.
And it's a
so
push to degenerate everyone in order for those people to be allowed to be. It's that, yeah. I mean,
yes.
that's
So
where
what if
I call them psychopaths, or you can say they're, people following Satan, or you could call them, but it's like it is a cycle. And, yeah, I agree with you, Jack.
what I would like to see people do in the name of Jesus, right? Uniting together as a body to be the voice of love and reason, to somehow get the attention of the men and women of Congress, where people out of the body of America come forth to say, hey, nope, no more.
I mean, man, look, I have a lot of criticism for this person, but isn't that exactly what Andrew Wilson is doing? At least claiming to want to do? I mean, he's literally Christian nationalist trying to get Congress and senators to vote based off of their Christian beliefs and Jesus
Is that what
on
he's
paper.
saying? Is
That's what
that
he
what he's
says.
saying?
Yeah,
Golly geez.
I'm not, again, I could criticize his method,
Right.
but
That's okay.
See,
If
I don't
that's what
know.
he's saying, I'd still suggest he doesn't have a clear idea of what the teachings of Jesus are because he's more of a fundamentalist Christian. But I've never spoken to him, or if I have, it's just been very brief, and I haven't tuned into a lot of his stuff.
Like,
But he's
I
a
do.
I
solid
mean,
guy.
again, he's so in everyone's mouth right now. It's like, fuck, I hate to even
Mhm.
say it, but
I
like,
know.
I have heard him say exactly what I told you. It's like all the thoughts that people want to put him debating. Even if you look at the statistics and they're fucking only 14% or whatever, he's known as only debating, only fans or all this. But like, when you hear the mission of what they're trying to do and who he's trying to debate and going against secular humanists and all this shit, his ultimate thing is to get congressmen and senators to start voting as a Christian nationalist nation. And when he says Christian nationalist, it's follow Jesus. Like, and it's them voting with their heart based off of their Christian
Okay.
beliefs. I mean, he would
Right.
say orthodoxy, but it's like, but his thing is like, let's just get some fucking morals back in
Yes.
government.
Yes. Hey,
I
Kim,
hear,
So I'm
thank you
just
for
throwing it
that.
out there.
I
What's
Thank
hear
you.
that?
that.
Oh,
I don't know, man. I don't think that religion holds a place in politics. It should be separate, in my opinion. Like, in my personal opinion, I think that those are two things that should stay
well, you
separate.
got the society with it being separate, brother. I'm ready for a change.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
We've
saying
been
like
living that shit.
I'm
Like,
saying it doesn't have to be atrocious. It doesn't have to be injustices going on, but it
No.
doesn't have to be a religious, you know, overtaking either. You know what I'm saying? It should be neutral. It should be something that just benefits all people all together. You know,
Well,
regardless of. what they believe.
Here's my idea, and it's not necessarily religious, but I suggest that we have the opportunity to reclaim this world in the name and the ways of Jesus. Religions be damned, right? We understand the name and hopefully the ways of Jesus. His commandment was pretty clear: love each other fearlessly, faithfully, without excuse. Love.
I hear that, but you know, he also did say to like to keep the old word, right? The old word, like the Old Testament, like to uphold that.
He
That was
showed us how. He
that
showed
was
us how.
that was a pretty brutal book, man. I don't know.
But that's just it. He called the Pharisees and the Sadducees sons of Satan, vipers, right? That they didn't know what they were doing. The path to
Yeah.
heaven is to be better than those guys, and they were all about those punishing rules and trying to belittle others.
No, but
Jesus,
what I'm saying is like this, like there was like a lot of atrocity, like you know what I'm saying, like stoning your son, your disobedient
right,
son. If he, you know, like
right,
that to me is like unfathomable. I'm not doing that. I don't care if it's the old days or the new days.
right,
I don't care if anybody pops up right in front of me talking about do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'll probably try to bash them in the head. You know what I'm saying?
right. And
So
Jesus didn't do that.
no, but
Yeah,
I'm saying though, like that back in the old days though, like that was the rule. Like that was the that's
that
part of
was
the law he was saying to uphold. You understand what I'm saying? In the New
no,
Testament.
no.
Isn't that part of the whole word? Like the
That was their interpretations of the old words, but
I mean
Jesus
that's true.
showed us by the way he acted and what he said, just the way what Jesus demonstrated for us. He was an activist. I mean, he was a radical for his time. He stood against the religious systems, the oppressive systems, and he went to the masses. He went to the people to say, "Hey, learn from me to be free." And some people understood him, some people didn't. It's still the
Yeah.
same thing.
I mean, yeah, that's one of them things like that I say is hard to reconcile for me because it's such a big difference between like because supposedly Jesus is God, right? So if Jesus is God, then he was the same God that was in the Old Testament approving and co-signing these things, like he was there. So like
Jay,
the
do,
180 is
do,
crazy.
Jay, do you? I know you said you believe, like you trust in science, but do you? It's like I'm confused. Honestly, do you believe in unseen? Like I asked Jack earlier, do you believe in unseen entities or spirits that
Yeah,
control or have influence over humankind on some level?
yeah, but I don't think that scripture is a way to like
You don't think that's the
describe
that you don't think that's the story? What is there a story you could reference that you think explains it better?
No, because I understand that any scripture is the attempt of man to try to quantify something that's unquantifiable.
On
it's
some
the
level, I mean, I believe it is inspired by God mostly, even though the translations can have problems. But once I believe once God touches your heart, it's readable and you see the truth of it. The more like it says in it that it's what does it say? It confounds the wise, and I get it. It sounds like childish gibberish, and it is simple, but once man, again in an instant, it went to the discernment, and you can see the layers. And I mean, I think Jack said this. I think we all believe this on some level, or at least a lot of us do. We do live parts of the Bible out in our own life. I mean, that's it's referencing anything we can go through. It's just in a different, again, pick your version, however it goes. You can either get something out of it or not, but it is a book of wisdom and of every single life problem and experience you can go through. You can find something in there it's nothing new. You aren't going through anything
Right.
new, and a lot of spiritual books can kind of touch that. But yeah, I think the Bible and like we don't talk. I hear people talk so much trash on the Bible, but I don't ever hear. It's like, what about Proverbs? Where is
Right.
that?
Right.
It's like. Is that
Very.
trash? Like, where's that? Where's the manipulation of mankind to enslave you there? It's like just the essence of wisdom, and you know what I mean? And like,
That's what I'm saying. That to me could be a human being putting like a. It's like monopolizing life, right? Like I'm I'm someone back then, right? And I understand through the power of kingship and through things like the Numa Lish and previous texts and like all these other religions that through religion I could come up through my region, my sector, and I could attain power. I could command. I could have people bring me livestock. You know what I'm saying? And I could eat like a king when they bring me these livestock to
yeah, but
like.
you don't see like 1,000 versions of different Proverbs books. It's like there are some books that are packed with wisdom, but if that were the case, you'd have it all over the place that like would have been. It's divine wisdom is what I'm arguing. It's
What I'm
beyond
saying is that
just a few humans getting together and putting together a good like book. You know what I mean? That people can be like, oh, look, they're smart.
there are books
Hey,
that were removed.
here you reminded me of something I observed yesterday. This idea: holy answers require space to be found. Holy answers require space to be found. When we're full of ourselves, we're not going to find an answer that's higher than us. We've got to
Hmm.
be open and receptive to create space for God.
Well, yeah, I mean, isn't that, yeah, thinking we have the answer, right? As soon as you let go of that, it's amazing how many things come in that you didn't even recognize could have been possible.
My
That
thing is, my thing is like I noticed that a lot of the Bible stories tends to play on emotions and people's fears and like it touches on things like that. Like but like when you end up in a situation, not it, like people tend to turn to, especially in rough times, and it resonates with them in moments where like it's the mind, like in my eyes, like because ultimately whether you exposed to that book or not, you're gonna live your life. You know what I'm saying, and you're gonna experience things, and things are still gonna happen. So we tend to allocate certain things, and we tend to say, "Oh, maybe this is a sign. Maybe this is this." That's our enthusiastic, curious minds at work. You know what I'm saying? The truth is, none of us really do know, and that's why my ultimate theory, my ultimate concept, is that life is meant to be experienced, not explained. Because at a certain point in time, no matter what, our five senses are too limited, and machines can only get us but so far. We have to experience death to know what comes after life. You know what I'm saying? To know if your God was the right God, or if their God was the right God, or whoever. We're always going to have that notion. And as long as we got faith,
mm,
it's good. But, I believe that science is the way, because science shows us what we're in. And when the book
you're,
strays from that, I question it.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I get the doubts. I really do get the doubts. But it's really easy for our mind to come up with the reasons why we don't look. And science versus religion, those are just two different categories of information, two different outlooks on perceiving the experience. They're not actually as divided. And I'm confident, truly, when mankind agrees, hey, it's time for a better way. We can end the wars, we can end the secrecy, we can start working together, and we can overcome the divisions of religion, politics, and economics very easily.
We could, but now that's a lot of egos that have to be overcome. That's a lot of divine right that has to
It's
be
okay.
given up. Like you got to understand, that's the damaging thing about religion. It becomes divine
No, no,
right. This
no.
is this is
No, no, no.
ours. So we'll
No.
die for this.
That's
That's
that's the foolish ego that stands in the way of higher knowledge. It's juvenile and it's foolish. And this is what I realized. through the propaganda, through the economic systems, the oppressive systems of government and war and all this authoritarianism and militarization and enforcement and regulation, it's driven everybody insane. People don't know how to live with each other because we are the modern day Babylon. As it was said, in Babylon, the
Amen.
languages were confused. People couldn't understand each other. These days, it's because people don't listen.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel like, right,
People don't repent.
there's
They all think
there's
they're
ways
perfect.
there's ways to make it clear, right? Like, but for some reason it's not. Like, for some reason we still gotta tap into these books. Like, you understand, like the books are so old, and they were around for so long, and
Mhm.
nothing, no updates, and we're just following a book. It's like following a manual to life. You know what I'm saying? It's telling you how to live,
Right.
and
Man,
that to me
I
is
just gotta tell you, brother, my experience with it is not that at all. Like I, I'm not even really what I didn't repent, man. And when I forgave and repented and asked Jesus to frickin' show me and save me, it happened. And it was like, holy shit, I had never actually
You
admitted I
never
was
know.
wrong before.
Yep.
Like,
Me too.
yeah, of course, wrong in the moment, but not like, oh fuck, that
Right.
was just fucking like wrong. You know what I mean? And I knew it, and you do it like, just ask God for
I mean, you
forgiveness, and it's
you
like
knew that
amazing.
you knew
And
that it was wrong.
what's that?
You already knew that it was wrong.
Yeah, but I didn't ask for forgiveness. That's the difference, man. If you don't believe in a higher power is not going to believe in you.
But
That's it.
that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Okay, talk to me, higher power. Come visit me in my house right now. Come have some coffee with me.
actually, I considered this earlier today because of the idea without trusting God, one learns to expect the worst. Well, how do you find trust? You got to have a knowing, right? Once you know something, it's easier to trust it. And to know something, you got to kind of understand it. But if you don't find something, you're not going to understand it. You're not going to know it. And if you don't look for God, I think God just sits back.
No, I'm not saying God don't exist. I believe in God. I need to overstate that and make that overly
Perfect.
clear. I
I got
believe
you.
in
I
God.
got
I
you.
believe in a
It's the
creator.
religions you have
I'm
distrust
I
of.
don't trust the humans that produce that,
Ah,
because at the end of the day, there are humans. Human beings have greed instilled into them. Like I explained to you, we are born with tendencies in us. So, like, I'm
I
from an area
guess so.
where I've seen naturally, like I've seen like I go to school, public school, you come up, everybody in the same class, but then you see these group of kids, they start chilling together and they call themselves a certain crew, and they come up and they try to do what? They try to take over the block. They try to get the money. Nobody getting money here but us. You understand what I'm saying? So it's, to me, like that, but just on a primordial, like a global scale. It's like nobody's kicking this scripture thing but us. Our scripture is the scripture that's running this. You understand what I'm saying? You playing by our game. You understand? No different than being in the hood, and this new crew come up and listen. This is
Well,
what it
I
is.
mean, bro, there's no
hey,
Christians coming up to you saying believe or you're gonna fucking get, tossed up.
Not believe you're gonna get tossed out, but back then they would have literally killed you, like,
okay,
for
but
certain things.
we're here and now, and I rejected the Christian religion because of the Christians. I did. I didn't
I
spend a
get it.
lot of time. I didn't trust the Bible because I didn't see the results. But that was a mistake on me.
Well, I
Would
mean, I believe in God though, so I just don't
okay.
trust the humans that wrote that. I
But
do.
then,
Yeah.
all right, no worries. Yeah, you don't have to trust them, but
I
trust the
mean,
wisdom.
ask God to show you the truth. That's what I did.
My
That
thing, God has to exist alongside science. Like I
yes,
understand that. I
it does.
understand that what science shows us is what's there. It has no feelings. It's just data. It's just data
Okay.
Okay.
recorded.
If
So
you come from breakfast tacos, can I just throw out that those guys conflate actual science and theoretical science as if they're the same?
That is true.
And actual science is real. It's repeatable. It lays the foundation for things. And we do have some, what you may call theories of, the laws. They call them laws, but some people claim there could be another universe where they don't apply and blah, blah, blah. But you can't get into anything quantum and then just give it the same credence that you do the science that we've done for thousands of years that
I
got
know
us where we
that.
are today.
I know that. That's why I say that I meet science where it's at. The science you talking about, the duplicatable science, the things we've been doing, the fact that the brain loses all activity, that we supposedly die at that point, is no more activity. I see that's where the science is. I try to meet it there and look for possibilities where something more could be. Because if there is something more indeed, an afterlife, a life beyond this one, or some system that carries on, it would be in the areas where we still have questions at. It wouldn't be where we have those definitive answers and that reduplicatable science of thousands of years that you're talking about. It would be in the places that we don't have answers and that we're
Right.
still looking and picking at.
Jay, sorry, Jay,
Right.
go ahead.
Well, this the hubris and the pride of the human species, it's just truly dumbfounding when you step back and you look at it. I mean, we've got entire governments and states and religions being, and all the followers, running around preaching and judging each other as though they know the biggest picture. One of the things I recognized earlier, I didn't realize my own hubris. I didn't realize my own pride. I felt I was insecure, but that was because I was so prideful. I thought I figured it out. Um, if our children were taught the mysteries of this world, how much we don't know, rather than trying to get the children to regurgitate whatever's in the lesson plan that someone else told the teacher to teach, I shouldn't diminish that. It's been a while since I've been in school. Um,
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
this this life we're living, it truly is. It's a create your own adventure. The key to success is to believe that there is greater available, to believe that you have a purpose and that the answers are available to you.
Yeah.
It's a mindset. Guys, we have been given this entire world and everything in it. It's ours to do with what we want, but we don't control the results. Back to the science discussion, right? We observe results, but there's forces beyond what we understand that create the results, that create the opportunities, that allows us to tune in our minds into different ideas. Because who we are magical beings somehow held together and given life with some unknown forces. I was thinking about the magic of water earlier today, as science explains it, right? Hydrogen and oxygen, two gases, somehow find a bond together that creates this magical water that always finds a level, brings us to life, keeps us nourished, keeps us cleansed. Water contains some sort of memory.
No,
So
water is just a substance, and it's something that like all you need to do is take a hot shower, and you see how those gases become water just on the walls. You know what I'm saying? The steam forms literal water on the walls. So, and
no
rain,
mystery at
precipitation.
all.
I know what you're saying though, Jack. It's a freaking miracle
It is.
when
No,
you really
it is a
see it. I
miracle.
get it. I see that like in everything too. When you
And
really kind of,
natural.
yeah, especially
It's natural.
nature, really, and like animals, and yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
I
How did
get it.
God even fucking do this?
I
Right.
get it.
Yes.
No, I get it, and I feel that same level of excitement, right? But then there's also that other side of the fence that'll tell you that's a natural process. These are elements. These are not conscious things. Consciousness is something that emerges from the brain. Consciousness is something we have not
No,
proven
that's
yet.
what we
Well,
assume.
yeah,
Outside of
so
it.
that's the
That-
science thing. It's like
no,
nobody even
this
knows
is what
what
I'm
that
saying.
is. Some people
So,
argue consciousness doesn't even exist.
no, this is what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is they say consciousness is an emergent property of the mind, and I
Yeah,
Mm,
some
understand.
people don't. A lot of people don't believe that. That's why
No,
I'm saying you're
that's
making statements repeating what other people have said,
no,
but
no,
there's no real foundation to it.
it's not whether I believe it. It's literally what the actual leading scientists of brain research are saying. Like if you go there, this is
No,
what they're
they're
saying.
not. There
And
are
I'm
sciences that say
saying,
that
bro,
consciousness is in the heart.
no,
We
I'm
don't know
telling
where
you, bro.
consciousness is.
They tell you literally it's
actually,
a neurological thing. It's from the neurons of the mind, and that's where we
sure.
experience consciousness
That's
from. That's
that's
how that
been a
is.
that's been an explanation that's found. It doesn't mean it's the answer to all things, because truly there are theories and signs perhaps that the entire universe is conscious. And
No,
if
but that
we're conscious, if we're conscious, then we're part of consciousness, right? It means we are consciousness in
I
form.
agree.
Well, consciousness has no limit,
I agree. You telling
right?
me, and I agree. I'm just letting you know where the science stands and where
So,
I then start making my notions. That's
do you
where then
think there's
I start
consciousness in any
going.
plants?
That's what I'm saying. Like according to the data, and I'm just saying according to the data, they
According
say
to the
no.
data you believe,
There's
yeah.
no brain. There's no brain. So I'm going according to the data. I'm not just making stuff up. I'm trusting the people that
So
do
you
this
would
for
say
me.
there's no consciousness in plants.
I'm not saying. I'm saying that there's no data to support that.
I'm
There's
not
no
trying to get
data.
a got ya. I'm just
No,
asking
I'm not.
to
It's not a gotcha. I'm
because
giving you
I'm just more
information.
saying
There's no
following your
data to
line of
support
thought.
it. No, I'm saying there's no data to support it based on the fact that they
Jay,
have no brains. They do have
well,
like
Jay,
what happened?
according to what you found, I mean, please, I caution you, be cautious with these declarative statements, as there's no evidence. You're not the all-knowing, and there's
No,
new
I'm not.
discoveries, new studies, there's people dedicated to looking into all sorts of things.
I agree. I
Well,
agree. I'm
why?
just saying
Because
what the
plants
data
have no
says.
brains.
That's what I'm hearing him say. Without a
I'm
brain,
saying
there's no
what the
What
data
consciousness.
about
says.
like a jellyfish? Jellyfish don't have brains, and they have a lot
That
of consciousness.
that's what I'm saying now. Venus flytrap, same thing. But I'm wondering how much of that is just like nerves and like neurons and like shit just reacting like a plant does, like a Venus flytrap does. When you hit like a certain thing of it, it just closes, like it just snaps. It's like a nerve ending. It's
Well, do you
not.
know
It
why
doesn't know
Venus
what it wants to do
flytraps ends
today.
up closing? Is because they have little hairs and receptors
That's what I'm saying.
that
So you
when
got to
they're
activate that.
like a
It's
cat has
automatic.
whiskers. You know, a cat moves around, and with
Yeah,
its
I know.
whiskers, it feels different types of things. It's kind of like
Nerve
how a Venus
endings.
flytrap works.
Nerve endings, but that doesn't like
Yeah.
so it has nerve endings and it has certain things in it like roots and like electrical responses, but what it doesn't have is a brain that we know is necessary for consciousness as we know it to emerge. Usually things that have consciousness that we see have the ability to like choose something or like lift a apple versus an orange or orange versus a stack of
Well,
grapes.
you
Like
know, what do you think about trees? You don't think trees have like
I'm
conscious?
saying that there's no data to support it. If you asking me my opinion personally, beside the data, like I put the data
Have you
down.
heard of
Now,
the
according to my opinion,
and
I say
this isn't
yes.
like exactly plants, but have you heard of the rice experiment where
The rice,
people
Tell us.
enlighten me,
Tell us about it.
enlighten me.
they sterilize 3 mason jars and then boil rice, put it in it, keep it as sterile as possible, and then write like love on one, do nothing to one, and write like hate on the other, um, and then for like I don't know, even a week or a couple weeks, I don't know how long, but they will actually go in and like give love to the one jar and give negative energy to the other jar, and a lot of videos show that the one with the negative energy just grows a lot more mold. and the one that was given positive energy has almost none.
Is that true?
Yes.
On video, yes. Again, I haven't done it, but
It's
I've
been
seen it more than
repeated.
once with people
Yeah.
that don't seem like they're doing any trickery. Like families
Yep.
and stuff will do it, get the
It's
kids
similar.
involved.
It's similar to the water test that Dr.
Right, but a little more, but you can see it because of the mold growth. But yeah, that basically the energy transfers onto things.
I gotta see that. I'm not gonna deny
So
that.
what? So
but
like, let's say
Yeah.
that you like live in a household where there's constant fighting and stuff like that. Does that mean like your food
Yeah,
molds?
might
Yep.
make you feel sick, might make you more susceptible to sickness. Just
Wow.
yeah, I mean
It's
I
negative
mean
energy.
the inference can be pretty huge, and I would agree with it. I mean, even just, I mean, honestly, dude,
So
if you're
you
tuned in
think
at all, you know what's up,
with
and we're
that
all
theory though too,
on
like
both
let's
sides of
say
it.
like you have like plants growing in your household,
Yeah,
and
I
if there's
do.
a constant yelling and negative
Yeah.
energy, your plants are gonna die.
They
Like I'm
won't
into
do as
plants
well.
big time,
Yes.
and I gotta tell you, dude, my gardens go nuts. I actually just sold my produce last weekend before the freeze. I had so much produce from this year out of my personal garden. My little I call her my niece convinced me to go down and set up a produce stand with her, and we ended up selling it all. Made a couple $100, and
That's good.
yeah, I mean, we had like a couple 100 pounds of tomatoes. But what I'm getting at is like I have gardened for decades, and cannabis indoors, regular food gardens outdoors. I don't know what it is. I think part of it is I love the plants. Like there's something in me that like I just feel I can walk in a garden and just tell if there's a disease or powdery mildew or something. Even if you can't really see it, it's like I can just see the plant like weakness. It's really weird. Not in like a
So
seed,
from
but like I
what
just
you're
sense it.
saying, so plants do have a conscious then.
I believe they do. I mean, not that you
They
can
do.
like tie into, but yeah, they sense your energy. If you
Data
want a
doesn't
plant to
point to
live, go for
Guys,
it, Jack.
I'm
You've had
just
a
well,
long
saying the
day.
data
Ready to
doesn't point to that.
go.
Keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. The data doesn't point to that. You gotta, if we're being like
you're being narrow
in the middle.
focused in what you're allowing yourself to consider, my friend.
No, I'm saying the data
Ellen back.
doesn't point to that. That's all I'm saying. Now where we
Well,
want
have
to
you?
go after that is, but the
Does
data
that include the data you've not found, J Money?
that's what I'm saying. Like if we're going according to the scientific method and we're sticking to the data that we know, things that
Right.
we know, it
Okay.
doesn't point
I
to
think
that.
Jay might be a
Hey,
young man, Jack, and he
well,
might be a little bit stubborn.
it's
No, it's not.
it's
This
fine.
just means
I'm just
science.
Jay.
Like science is the compass.
Jay, right. And I'm not arguing with you about science. I'm not arguing with you about data. What I am trying to get you to do is bring your awareness to the limits of what you have discovered. Please
Right.
don't assume that you know all the data, all the science.
I
Okay?
don't. I'm telling you, like this. If you got more
The more you
science,
dig into it, the more you realize it's
and
just people repeating other people, repeating other people, repeating other
it's
people.
science.
And
That's what science is. That's what science is. It's
Well,
literally peer reviewed.
no,
there
the
have
data really. Go ahead.
guys,
Sorry.
please, if I may, there have been people. I think Alan Watts, something he described. There's been people. You can apply the scientific method to some of the philosophies of religion, and we can weed out what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. But what it comes down to is how we live. The afterlife. Who gives a shit if we're not living properly now?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm
Yeah. If you're
saying.
Just
So
living for
like
the
plants,
afterlife, yeah,
if we're
man,
humans
not
you're living
living
need
for a
properly
paycheck.
now,
sunlight, vitamin D, photosynthesis.
see,
We need people like just like a human being. If you're in an environment where it's bad, you're gonna be depressed. You
It's
put
energy.
certain things into your atmosphere,
Yep.
you're gonna not be a very happy human.
those
It's
If
an
we
things
don't
might
have
be
trees and plants, humans don't exist. We need them
those
for
things,
oxygen.
those things
right.
might be the case, right? But to say that
And they need
consciousness
us.
that we know that only emerges through the brain, right? Consciousness that
We
we
don't
know
know that. We
emerges through the
don't
brain.
know that, Jay. We don't know that it's limited by brain tissue.
No, I'm saying that when you're unconscious, say for example, you take a surgery, like you become unconscious for
Okay.
that time. Like that's what it just puts you
But
out.
you still have a brain.
Being awake like this is tied
Even
to
if
the brain.
you don't have a brain, I'm pretty sure if you're a living organism,
Yeah, you
you
would
have
still
a
be alive to
conscious.
some degree. Your organs would still be
Guys,
working. You would still be alive
Tell me
technically. But
what
you're
a
the
conscious.
bird
ancient
that has a brain, what's their conscious, Jay?
You said what?
Like a bird. What's the
A bird?
bird's conscious? Or an ant?
I mean, does it have a brain? Do those things have brains? Does a bird have a
Do
brain?
birds have brains? I don't know. You
Yeah.
tell me, since you know
Yeah.
everything.
I don't know everything. I'm
So
asking.
do they
Like,
have a
some things
conscious?
don't. Like a jellyfish, you just taught me that a jellyfish doesn't have a brain. I'm asking you for real. Like, I'm not
Jellyfish
trying
doesn't
to.
have a brain.
No,
I'm
that's what
pretty
I'm saying.
sure
You
like
just taught
an
me that. You see what I'm
octopus.
saying? I'm
guys,
asking
I don't
genuinely.
think an
please.
octopus has
I'm
a
not
brain,
trying to
but
be
they're
a know-it-all.
smarter than most
Oh,
creatures. You're
No, I'm
making
not trying to be a
Jack's
know-it-all.
brain
That's what I'm
explode.
saying.
How slow you are, Jay. You're
No,
slow,
that's
dude.
What?
no. Please,
What are
please.
you
That's
saying? I can't understand you.
what I wanted.
Am I speaking
What I want to
Chinese?
point out is even before, well, for many years, for generations, there's been philosophies on what we are and the idea of consciousness. For those who have heard of the Hermetic philosophies or principles, some of the core ideas there, the idea of mentalism, right? The law of mind rules. We are, in my explanation and my estimation, I really truly believe we're like individual free flowing thoughts within the mind of God. We only think time is real because we're within time, but we're not within time. We are time. We're time being experienced in the form of being that we are, and our consciousness just tells us that we are.
You know exactly what you said. Check out your chat, Jack. This guy, GT, he says the brain doesn't produce consciousness. It connects to it like an antenna. And consciousness is like a
I'm the one
frequency.
who says that. Like, you guys are
Wow.
telling me this, like, I don't
That
agree with
actually
that.
made a
I'm
lot
the
of
one who
sense.
says that. No, listen, I'm the one who says that. If you hear my
No, you're
argument,
not.
no,
You
no,
didn't say that.
you're not even listening. That's the problem. You see, you don't dissect what I'm saying. You're not asking me questions. You're making declarations. I'm telling you what the data says, and I'm also telling you, aside from the data, I also believe in the things that you just alluded to. Like, you see what he just said? I say that. But every time I say that to someone who's scientifically capable, who's put in the work, who has done the degrees and done what they do, they come and hit me with the science. And then they be like, there's no data to show that. Nobody's saying that's not possible. Show it to me through data. You understand what I'm
Well,
saying?
this
That's
this
just me
similar.
supposing and theorizing something.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but this is similar to the debate of God. If someone's not willing to look, they're not going to find the evidence, right?
They're willing to look, though.
So they claim.
So are you willing to look? Because I've got a couple
Yeah,
things here.
show me. I would love
What
to
about
see it.
what about the
Bro,
epigenetics?
did you start working out? You look good, bro.
Please let him.
My bad.
Please.
Oh, red suspenders are sweet. White power.
Cooking. What
Go
you were
ahead,
saying,
my
Pedro?
bad.
What you were saying, Pedro? What you was talking about?
So you're familiar with epigenetics?
Nah, I've heard the term,
How
but
about okay,
vague.
when we talk about plants, we talk about a thing known as a wood wide web. A lot of people think about it as the undergrowth that mycelium, mushrooms and fungus use to grow. It's basically like it's actually been described in the scientific world as a neurological network.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Good point. White power.
Trees, mother trees that are throwing down seeds and leaves and stuff like that, known as nutrients into the understory, generally have also been noticed to distribute them to saplings that they themselves produced rather than saplings of a neighboring tree of the same kind even.
Mother trees like the motherland. Am I
Right.
right? White power.
So there's even a kinship. So when we talk about the consciousness, we have to understand that it's not based on an emotional connection, but a neurological connection of signals that it receives and responses that it has in reaction to those signals. Jellyfish, perfect example, does not have a brain, but yet has a neurological response when it comes in contact with other things. Where
Bring up the 1930s German orchestra music.
Shoots out the little spines that dig in and inject the poison, right? Or the neurological interrupters. They're even known in jellyfish as neurological interrupters. So it's a neurological concept. And so when we ask this kind of a question, we have to ask it of three different groups: scientists, philosophers, and theorists.
Fuck yeah, white power.
Depends on who you're asking what kind of answer you're going to get.
Anywhere you ask, you're going to get any answer like that's not something like this. You're going to get the scientific answer. And you can go try it now. Go ask AI, any AI.
And that's why I said, when you ask, you have to be aware of what you're asking in order to understand the response that you get.
So if I ask a scientist who's done this all his life, or I ask various scientists and they all say the same thing.
Okay. So scientist Susan Simard provides data on complex social behaviors in forests mediated by mycorrhizal fungal networks, like I just explained. Susan Simard, scientist, okay? How about using radioactive carbon isotopes? She tracked the movement of nutrients between trees. Data showing what I just spoke: mother trees, older established trees, transfer carbon and nitrogen to seedlings in the understory that cannot get enough sunlight.
Yeah, it's alive.
White fucking power. Preach, El Perro.
It's alive, but what I'm saying is science is still saying
that's science.
Science.
You're saying science, and I'm showing you science sources. Look them up. I gave you source. I gave you what it's saying, and you're still refusing the data. You asked for data. I gave you data.
Look. Put the link in the private chat. Put the link in the private chat so I can see it. So I can see what you're saying.
I just gave you Susan. Susan, look up Susan Simard.
So I can see it.
With plants, there's still like
you are so lazy.
You can't copy and paste. There's an embryo and an embryo or something like that.
You can just copy and paste and put it in the private chat.
Please.
There you go, Susan. There you go, Susan Simard.
Okay.
In private
Calm down, white power.
Please.
So who is Susan Simard? Is she a scientist?
Let's get back to Jack.
White power, dude.
Did you not just hear me?
Black
Susan
power
Simard is the one I just referenced to in the scientific data.
White power. Sort of brigade or something. I'm just trying to talk to you. I'm not trying to win or lose, and then I'm trying to just.
No, you're not. You're ignoring everything I gave you.
Who's Susan Simard?
No,
you're saying a lot. You're saying a lot.
Look into this.
You trimmed your beard recently, Jack?
You said what?
When everyone's talking at once, no one is heard. Can you guys recognize that, please?
And so when I answered his question to put a source in the back, I gave him the source, Susan Simard. Then he wants to ask,
great.
You asked
so
her,
right.
It.
You're
Great.
You're so
no
right.
reason to fucking loop re-narrating what you did. It didn't answer the man's question, okay?
That's what I'm saying. I just have another question. I'm just trying to understand this point that you're making. I'm looking up Susan's Simard right now. I'm trying to get ChatGPT to give me a base understanding. It seems like she's a professor of forest ecology at University of British Columbia. Leads the Mother Tree Project, which studies how projecting.
You know how to read in your
head.
Okay?
So okay. Now I'm gonna look into her theory now. The theory that you're saying that is talking about now, the underground mycorrhizal networks that links trees and allows them to exchange resources and signals. But the thing is, scientists don't argue that. Like they know that there's networks like that. That's how these things grow and like even communicate to some degree. But
Okay.
they're arguing consciousness, like
Hey,
consciousness, the way we experience it. Like even
right.
our bodies, when we're
Hey, Jay.
unconscious, are alive and do that still. Our brain still
Right.
does things
How old?
when
Can
we're
I ask how
unconscious.
old you are, Jay? Are
No,
you a younger man? Are you in your
I'm
20s, early
no, I'm not.
20s?
No, I'm not. I'm in my late 30s. But the point is when you can be alive and be unconscious, and everything that you're saying that these roots and animals and plants
Okay. Great.
do,
Great.
we can
Jay.
still do it in the unconscious state.
This guy's losing
Great.
Consciousness, the way
Great. Jay, please
consciousness, the
pause.
way we. All right, go ahead, go ahead.
Holy cows.
I'm not. You're not letting me land my
That's a
point. But go
lot of
ahead.
shit
All
without
right.
even saying
Land,
anything.
please. Land the plane. Please. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I was just trying to say that consciousness is something that emerges from the brain when we are conscious. And even when
Hey,
we're
Jay.
unconscious, we still do the things you are
Oh
alluding
my
that these plants do with
Mm-hmm.
their neural
Jay.
network and stuff like that. We're alive. But the
Okay.
consciousness itself is
Hey,
something that
Jay.
comes from the brain.
Jay.
That's what it's saying.
This landing the plane, you're
Go ahead.
repeating yourself. Are you aware of that? You're just
I didn't.
repeating the same things.
Okay, well, answer it then.
I tried to interrupt to offer a different source. Okay, but you don't. Are you familiar? I didn't hear everything that Opero offered, and I'm not familiar with the name he shared. I may look it up more myself. Um, are you familiar with the work from Bruce Lipton, from Rupert
Oh yeah.
Sheldrake?
Bruce
Rupert
Lip,
Sheldrake, probably mostly, but I think Bruce Lipton would be an excellent one as well. Have you?
Bruce
Oh wait, I was
Lipton.
thinking you were. Yeah, never mind. I was thinking of a different author.
Bruce
Similar
Lipton.
subject.
Who is he?
I believe his theories he's presented are called epigenetics, the idea that of how the environment affects the cellular movement, and that
Yeah.
demonstrates that the cellular cells have a consciousness and awareness, a responsiveness to the environment. But he also brings in how the power of the mind, and I think one of his books is The Biology of Belief, right? How the power of our words and our thoughts and our minds, it affects our inner chemistry, and our inner chemistry drives disease. I don't know if it shows as much that question of consciousness beyond the brain, but if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Bruce Lipton started out as a what's the type that studies the plants?
Botanist.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
but
Maybe he was a biologist.
Plants and people.
That may have been it. But and then Rupert Sheldrake, his theories are what's that?
how you spell his last name?
Sheldrake. And I can pull up links for these guys too if you want.
Yeah, for that guy, yeah. Having trouble with
Rupert
it.
Sheldrake presents this theory concept of our body is a biological technology. We're receivers to tune in to the field of memory and information, so that it's actually memory and information that actually creates the forms of who we are. And the way he explains it, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
I've actually years ago watched a presentation on the Zohar, which is like kind of parallel to the Jewish Kabbalah, and it explained essentially the guy that was giving his explanation of it, it said essentially that, which so here's my caution with that is there's entities out there and they want you to think that they're benevolent when they're really evil and they want to destroy you. And when you put your little antenna out there, if you don't have a spiritual foundation, you don't know what the fuck you're going to pick up and bring in. So I mean, yeah, it's right, but I don't think it's right if unless you want to just get influenced by a bunch of shit without, you know what I mean? Like, it can be dangerous too.
I hear you.
Jack, I think you're muted.
Sorry. I was sorry. It can be dangerous, and this is where the spiritual path, it does take some wisdom, because our bodies, we can tune into some evil shit. It exists, and I've come to believe that there is truth in and power in our prayers. There is truth
Yeah,
and power in the angelic, in the beings beyond what we can perceive. There's beings of consciousness of that serve the light and serve the dark. And the dark, it serves the self, the individual, the one, right? Doesn't care about anyone else. So these ideas get into our heads based upon our energy, the state of the quality of our energy, and that's in our emotions. Our emotions will drive the direction of our mind. And all of these can be mastered when you face the battles inside. This is what I've been learning, and what I'm really hoping to
yeah,
try and share is let the love let love win within, so that you can walk with love through your day. And then this idea, confront any disturbances to love. We're not always right, but if we can confront the things that are not loving, not kind, not healthy, inside and outside of us, guess what? The world problems are going to be solved.
That's the thing. That's so subjective. Like, and I hear you. I get where you're going with, and I agree with you. But everybody don't think like the way we think. Cause I could say we, cause I agree with you, and I see it that way, and I share the sentiment actually. But people won't always be on the same page as us. You understand what I'm saying? No matter how much we try to do it that way, no
you
matter
see,
how
I
much we stand it up, they're gonna knock it back down.
I do see Jack being, even though I see how Jay's taking it. Jack used to be a lot more authoritarian, and you have been focusing on the self and telling people about it. And so while I think it will transfer out, and I think you're right, I get both sides because yeah, it's difficult because we all know getting everyone on the same page is, impossible. So, but getting everyone to the best they can be that you have influence over is possible, or at
It's
least encouraging them to. And
so
then,
many.
they encourage others. And I see that. Like, I think, like a lot of people, and Jay, I get it. I'm here. I am defending Jack, but yeah, Jack used to focus a lot more on the we need to change other people, and for what it's worth, if I just take the message I've heard today, it's hard to argue with a lot of it, for personally, I'm not saying I'm right, and like, but like, even to argue, it's like um, I'm surprised I've been up here and we have had a good conversation. I was actually going to say that, like, it's probably, you're going to wrap up, and I was like, damn, Jack, this has been enjoyable. I didn't expect this from the original. Not that I wanted conflict either, but yeah, it was just like, I'm surprised that it really has been a couple hours, and it's been a very enjoyable, deep conversation, which is kind of where I like to be. Um,
For sure.
yeah, I like the deep end.
It's a pleasant thing. And that's what I like to do. I like to unpack my theories. Like you see Duke that was just here flipping out. He thinks that I don't believe in God. Like he's arguing with me about the things I believe, not knowing that I believe it, and all I was doing was just presenting the data. Me presenting the data and then putting it down and then telling you, hey guys, look, that's the data. That's not telling you that's what I believe. That's me telling you that despite the things he said, the data still, and it's just, I could go to Chat GPT now. Any one of us could do it. Any AI that you trust, go do it. Ask them. do science, does mainstream modern science feel like plants or mushrooms are conscious? They're going to tell you about all of those things that he said. They're going to touch on that. They're going to allude to everything he touched on. But what they're not going to do is tell you that it's considered accepted science. So the data, you know, there's people that are qualified that have opinions that they like, maybe, like kind of like Avi Loeb. He thought the 3-Eye Atlas was a spaceship. Like that doesn't negate his credentials. And people who believe in that type of thing could point to Avi Loeb and be like, you see, look, we got a scientist saying this. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes scientists have their different things. Like they sell books, they do certain things. You get what I'm saying? So I look strictly towards the data, not the person just giving the data. What's peer review? What does everybody agree with? Get
Okay.
different people
Yeah,
to
but
say.
yeah.
And all
Great.
of them say
Great.
no consciousness. You
All
understand
right.
what I'm saying? So that's what the data
Okay.
points. That's not to say
So
I believe that. I believe
great.
that there is. I believe that there is. I believe there's a neural network there, and I do believe that there's some form of consciousness beyond ours, that there's a way for consciousness to emerge beyond just the brain, that what we are is an extension of the life, like the life force that basically he said earlier, the guy said earlier, like our brains connect to. I believe that. I believe that before we became alive now, like how we are alive now, something embodied with us, and it's going to leave us again, and it's going to rejoin the system, and it's going to be able to do it again. You understand what I'm saying? And the way this feels like our first life, that will feel like our first life. And how we incarnate again will be determinant on how we live our previous life and our karmatic things. That's
Can
me
you bring?
unpacking my personal belief beyond the data.
Thank you. Thank you.
You get it? So
Yep.
the data says one thing, I say another,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm meeting the data where it's at. And I think that that's the only honest thing to do.
Okay. And I don't disagree. See the data I found? It really opened my eyes to the history of this world, especially in America, particularly the history after World War II and the corruption of politics and economics. But back to
Can
this
you say
stuff.
what you're putting up, Jack? I can't. I can't
This
see it. I don't know if everyone can.
this is that commune link I dropped. It's in the private chat too. It, onecommune.com. This is Bruce
What did
Lip.
you learn from it? What are you
The
sharing it for? I guess I missed that.
he presents this. He authored The Biology of Belief, and this is just a brief synopsis of what he offers. Awakening the Inner Healer. His epigenetics and quantum physics have revealed, according to him, your thoughts and beliefs directly influence your gene expression and life experiences. Most of the time, your subconscious programming is running the show, and your subconscious is likely full of disempowering, self sabotaging beliefs. So, this is how we're designed. He offers the work this guy does. He's an incredible teacher. Um, his stuff, he's got a lot of free information and teachings that's out there. And I encourage people to check him out. I brought him up regarding the conversations on consciousness because this idea of epigenetics and your thoughts and beliefs, it's tied together in consciousness. And then the other one I wanted to bring up is Rupert Sheldrake, a biologist and author, best known for his hypothesis of morphic resonance. Um, he's got public studies that he's inviting people to participate in, helping to identify memory, the habits of nature, the patterns of behavior in pets. He's got a lot of stuff tying consciousness and life into a more unified idea, in my opinion, of what I've heard from him. So
Yeah, man, I've been tripping out. The more I'm on like a kind of a little farm, and the more I'm around the animals, the more I'm just convinced that there's some level of like telepathy.
Yep. It's a knowing. We all have an ability of knowing, and our minds can we can train ourselves to tune in to different things. There's a spirit of life that's within us. We know it as our intuition, our inspiration, our desires. All of those things are beyond language, but they're real feelings that guide us. But the world we live in order to obey, you got to become numb. You got to deny your feelings, right? That's what men of the day have been taught. It's a bunch of crap to keep us insane, suffering like traumatized children our whole lives.
Man, I hate to keep bringing shit up. I don't know if you want to go, but I just on that level, you say trauma, but I had this thought. Every police officer should have to kill an animal, like basically like a pig or something, because I don't think a lot of I don't think they respect what it is to watch something die. And make it a hog that's a nuisance, or make it a pig and then they can use, hunting ammo and give it away. But like I my I grew up in, Southern California, right? And I camped and shit, but I didn't hunt for nothing. And then I moved out, and after years in Colorado, I just kind of had this realization that I had zero connection to my food. Like I had never, like, yeah, I'd grown some vegetables, but as far as any meat, and whatever, and so basically it inspired me to get chickens and then I was like, man, I need to actually hunt though. I need to and going through that, um, it is a perspective, man, when you take an animal's life that was going to live if you didn't interfere. I mean, there's just something to that. And I mean, this is like, yeah, I don't know. I just was like, I think there's just a separation of the true consequences of our actions. And I mean, just how cops are taught to mag dump and they're put in this state of fear, but they're never really shown what's going to happen after that. And I don't know, man. It was just a kind of something I've been really tripping on how cops got into the mentality they are today and how they just oppress or, and I came across the 1033 Act back in 1997, which I don't think anyone has fucking heard about, but it's an act that got all the surplus military equipment transferred to the police. And like I've watched the mentality of them change with their up armored equipment. They have an up armored personality, and that's now become a complete fucking tyrannical attitude. Yeah, yeah, you totally. And so um it was like I just have been trying to come up with things that could be implemented. I know that's probably, it's like, oh my god, kill a pig. I know it probably sounds crazy, but like when you see that, like, damn, I'm going to shoot something, it's not just gonna like fall down, it's gonna squirm, and it might, and then like maybe they have to go I don't fucking know, dude. I'm throwing ideas out, but it's like getting people to have a connection to you were saying it, and what I was thinking is getting still, and how like it used to be good for kids to go out in the wilderness and stuff, but really what it is teaching them about like their own, actions have consequences. If you don't build a shelter right, you're gonna be fucking cold tonight. If you get hungry, you're gonna have to kill something and eat. And like we've just been taught that'll just happen for us. You're a vegetarian, so like you wouldn't even believe it. That's probably why you recoiled back when I said that so much. I was like, okay, yeah, because like as a hunter, I'm like, I'll eat what I kill, and I don't hunt anymore anyway. But like that being said, it's an experience. It's not just like, oh, I'm a fucking hunter. It's like, yeah, dude, you respect, if you have any soul at all, I think, you respect the animal that you're taking, knowing, like the whole circle. And so we're just separated from all that. And please I've talked too much.
Well, what you're saying, the police is a symptom, right? The the we've got a nation that war has become so normalized. We've got a bunch of veterans, combat veterans in the nation. The first responders, our police, our paramedics, they actually see the ugliest of the ugly in our society firsthand, right? So these men and women are dealing with their own levels of trauma, moral injuries and the things they see and experience, just like the soldiers are. But in order to deal with that, what's the solution? The fear-based solution is, well, you got to arm them better, right? Get the tactical gear in, get that SWAT team developed, right? Let's
Right.
start policing before people do crimes. And
Right. Exactly. It's a paranoia that like builds on itself, that like when you step back and you think about the vast majority of people that are just fucking waking up, going to work, going home, not doing shit, and then you look at the mentality that every cop has towards every citizen, it's so out of balance.
it's
Yeah. And I
this,
get it. I see what you're saying. I mean, I think I blame them because, again, we make our own decisions. If they can't
yeah,
go and do the job without absorbing into the brother, like, I mean, I don't know, man. Look, I, I've been around gangs and I never joined one. Like, I've always, but I've interacted with them, and
Yeah.
it's just, I've had that mentality, right? I don't even know why I'm alive, to be honest, on some level. Like, I fucking stood up to things. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely getting whacked now. And this is when I was younger, so like none of this anymore. I'm not like trying to say I'm some toughie now, but that being said, when I was young, I felt invincible, and I would stand up if I thought I was right. I just did it, whatever, and I'd call out. Okay, that being said, why the fuck can't cops do that? Like, they're supposed to be the most upstanding members, but they watch their people around them. I mean, all the false police reports, burner guns, like they're
here's why, Kim. To do the military, to do the police thing, you've got to believe in authority, right? And so then they put on this costume and they've got the training and they've got the knowledge of different criminal statutes and whatever. So they play games with people's lives. Some of them do.
yeah.
Now there's others that really I believe there's good and bad in every field, right? There's good cops too that are there
Yeah, but
trying to
there's a
do what's
higher
right.
percentage of like evil cops. Like it
Well,
does draw that personality of people that just want to dominate over people, with authority. With unearned authority is what it is. Because like, man, I'll submit
yeah,
to real authority if someone knows more than me, has more
sure.
experience, been there before, right? That's fucking
There you
authority. But
that.
I'm not gonna bow to some fucking dude that just says I'm in charge. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, well, then I'm in charge too. Like.
Well, Kim, what if it goes back to that idea of trauma? Right? Who wants
Well,
to
yeah,
be
sure.
the guy who's in charge? Well, the insecure little bully,
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah.
So it's just like there's so many psychiatrists and psychologists, they go into that field because they know they're fucking nuts. They're trying to figure themselves
Yeah.
out.
That oh man, what statistic did I just hear? Schizophrenics and psychologists have the same rate of self-deletion.
I believe it. I heard that
Dude, that's
that they've got a higher rate.
crazy. Literally. That's mind-blowing.
Well,
I
it's a
mean, because I
sign.
don't really trust it anyway, but like, holy shit, I couldn't I mean, I can't, that's mind-blowing to me. It's like
Well,
5 times the rate of other people, and both of them are at the same rate.
it's a sign. It really is a sign. I got
The sick
locked up.
treating the sick, yeah. People claiming to not be sick that are just as sick, but they don't acknowledge it, right? And
No,
they're putting out the diagnosis on everybody else.
they acknowledge it. A lot of psychiatrists have psychiatrists. Like they acknowledge it,
Yeah,
but
well, that's true too.
it,
Fuck.
it,
Yeah,
it,
it's a circle jerk.
it boils down to who better than a person that experienced it to teach. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's there is value in that. There is truth
Yeah.
in that. But the problem is the society we've got. It's all a bunch of echo chambers, right? You get all these professionals in the same room telling each other they're doing the good thing, and meanwhile they're not really accomplishing what they think they are. Whether it's
Yeah,
attorneys or
man.
judges or psychologists, psychiatrists, whatever. We
That's
live.
where the science part comes in, because it's like, bro, when you really look at what they claim is science, they just like throw shit out and see if it sticks. I mean,
Well,
well, that's definitely true in
not
the
really,
pharmaceutical
they gotta
industry.
not
they
really
Right.
gotta
science.
they gotta justify their job. And justifying their job means doing what the bosses say. Whoever's funding,
Yeah.
they're the boss.
Like
So
when you realize what some of the medications in like specifically psychiatry, dude, that's straight toxins that they're just giving you, hoping that you like the way a toxin makes you feel. There's no
yeah,
fucking science to it.
There will
right.
always
And
be a
the
reason.
level of side effects are like, dude, it's a crazy industry. Yeah, we could go off. Jack, I'm gonna go just because I feel like we could end up talking for long, and it's
I'm
normal. I'll
ready
let
to
you do
shut.
your thing, but
Yep.
it's been
Blessings.
very enjoyable. I appreciate it, and yeah, I'd like this Sunday chats with Jack. Maybe I'll come up and we could do it again sometime. But it's been nice talking with you guys.
Take
You
care,
too.
Kim. Have
Pre-
a good weekend.
You
Appreciate
too.
you,
I'll see you
Slim.
around, Jay. We can talk more about that and maybe debate a little more somewhere else or whatever.
For sure.
Take care, bro.
Peace.
Hey, blessings to you. I appreciate that.
Same thing, Jack. I'm gonna let you wrap up, man. It was nice talking to you, man. Keep doing
You
the
as
good work, man. You're ready, man. Take care, man. Be blessed.
J Money, blessings to you. And it was good spirit, good intentions that brought you up. You
That's
started out with encouraging words. Much love to you, my brother.
always same to you, brother. Peace.
Peace. Brothers and sisters, I am going to wrap it up. We started early today. We ran a little long today. The idea was let's discuss God together, and we discuss God in a lot of different ways because in my mind, from my perspective, God is known through life, my life, your life. It's evidence of God's will for this world at this time, my life and your life, and all these other lives that are happening all around us, whether they're involved in our life or not involved in our lives. We're all in this timeline together. And I've started calling it pretty comfortably. I think this is the Jesus timeline. And I do think that we are here to bring this new kingdom forth. And the idea behind that is people like me, people who joined the panel today, people who tuned in today, all of us who care, right? All of us who are not disassociated from reality. We're not numbed to the pain and the opportunities. We're not numb and closed off to the opportunities that life brings. God brings us life. You've been given life. It's the only thing you possess. Don't let the money possess you. Don't let the reputation possess you. Don't let the temporary circumstances possess you. Possess your life by giving it away. Give it to God. Give everything to God, to the unknown, just so that you can be. That's God's will, is for you to be as the sun in the sky is being, and just in its being, it's illuminating, it's brightening, it's warming. Be like that. That is you when you choose to be. I hope this is coming through. I said a lot of things today. I did want to wrap up with the Talcott again today, though, too. Um, Without trusting God, one learns to expect the worst. So check into yourself and see what you are finding. Are you finding the worst? Or are you finding a little trust, a little faith, a little hope? Because when you find that little bit of hope and faith and trust with you and in you, you become that. You become the hope and the faith and the trust that walks with you all day. Thank you again to all who joined in. Click the link, tuned in. I'm going to wrap it up here. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you again, and God bless us all. Peace.